Situation Delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
We have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
Time comes when silence is betrayal.
More for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. Think for yourself. Question authority.
This code has been compromised.
All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is March 15th, 2023, the Ides of March. Looks like my audio levels might be a little bit high. Bear with me for a second here. I don't want to blow out your eardrums. I think that's more like it. Okay, so yeah, it is the Ides of March. It was a very terrible day for the Dow Jones, which is super turbulent. It was looking worse. Finished down about 300 points, got down as many as 500 and some points throughout the day. But again, we've been talking about it all year, you guys. Damar Hamlin of the Bills, his staged collapse as they put him in the fake ambulance. And we pointed out that he was born on the 83rd day of the year, and in Gematria, collapse equals 83. And it happened in the first quarter, like how in the financial world, they divide the year up into quarters. The first 3 months, the third month, March, Damar Hamlin wore the number 3. Remember, he had the same birthday as Chuck Hughes, who also collapsed on the field, and the same birthday as the Old Dominion player, who also wore number 3, who collapsed. And we've been talking about prepare for some kind of financial chaos, some kind of black swan event, something that signals how they're eventually going to transfer us to this digital dollar they've been talking about when March comes around. And again, the big thing was Damar Hamlin, again, born on the 83rd day of the year, when in Gematria, collapse equals 83, and so does football. But look at what's happened in recent times. A week ago, Silvergate collapsed on March 8th, the date that could be written 8/3 like 83. The very next day, after Silvergate Bank collapses, then Silicon Valley Bank collapses, which was on the 83rd day of the Pope's age, and then it fully collapsed the very next day on a date that was 83 days after the Pope's birthday, and Silicon Valley Bank was established in 83. Then over the weekend, the Fed shut down Signature Bank, which in Gematria equals 83. And then today, what caused the markets to go into turmoil was the bank in Switzerland, Credit Suisse, which equals 83, collapses. And expect more of this as we approach March 24th, the 83rd day of the year. And remember, 83 is the 23rd prime number. In Gematria, market equals 23. And what happened with the big tech bank, Silicon Valley Bank, it collapsed on the 23-year anniversary of the dot-com bubble bursting to the day, March 10th. And the day the Dow went down 23 years ago was March 24th. And if you go back and look at the headlines from March 23rd, 2000, the day before the Dow went down, there were 23 companies that were up. It rose 2.3%, and it was its highest level ever, eclipsing the record on February 3rd. I mean, that's a lot of 23. The whole thing they just did with Charles Schwab went down 23% and then recaptured all of its losses. There's been so much money gained by the insiders during this period of turbulence because they know when to sell high and buy low, and there's so much money to be made. It's just like, I can't even think of his name, but there's a guy on YouTube. He has 1.5 million followers, and he's a day trader, and he you know, if you sign up for his thing, you can watch him day trade in real time, and he's been building his bankroll over time. But now what he does is he has $400,000 on the line, and he day trades, betting $400,000, and again, in a matter of 2 seconds, he can make $20,000, he can lose $50,000, but he's good at it, so he does win more often than not. But again, he has, that's $400,000. Imagine the people who rule the world, who really have it down. They could probably make millions of dollars in seconds, while other people lose their entire retirement in these games. But again, you guys, the collapse code. We've documented these types of things for years. That's why I was so certain about it when Damar Hamlin went down. I was like, this is what this is about. They're telling us they're going to transfer us to the digital currency. Doesn't it make so much sense? I mean, just the big tech bank. First, Silvergate goes down because it was too involved in crypto, which has had a rough year. And then, Silicon Valley's the big tech bank and a little bit in crypto. And then Signature Bank was way into crypto. And again, Jerome Powell, just before all this happened, Jerome Powell was talking to Congress and saying that, one of the talking points he had was that the world of crypto, it needs to be centralized because it's dangerous. So now we're getting the narrative. Oh, crypto, because it's not centralized, the problems it's having are now leading into the centralized banks and knocking them over like dominoes. So, again, you guys, these rituals are so obvious, and it's just sad that, more people aren't helping spread this work. And I want to send a shout out to Greg Manarino. I called him out in this morning's stream, not in a mean way, but he responded within like 10 minutes. I was like, well, thank you, whoever relayed the message to him, because look at him, he's already in the comments. So, and I've always thought that Greg Manarino seems like a sincere guy. The Manarino Index. But, his comment, though, that he responded with, it's like, dude, I'm asking you to help share this knowledge. He's like, his comment was, I thought March was going to be a bad month, too. It's like, okay, I get that, but I need you to share this knowledge. People need to have this knowledge. Greg Manarino, if you guys are not familiar with him, he seems like a day trader type of guy. He lives out in the West Coast somewhere, but he's definitely from New York with that accent. And reminds you of a character from, what's that 90s movie? Can't even think what it's called now. It's about day traders. But, again, it's just like, guys like him do good work, but they gotta expand their horizons. Just saying the bankers are doing this to us, it's not specific enough. Again, we're proving who's doing this every day. It's synced up with the Pope and the Jesuits. The Jesuits run the show. The Jesuits have the Templar cross in the middle of their logo. The Templars fled to Switzerland after they were burned at the stake. Where's today's big ritual at? Again, it's in Switzerland with Credit Suisse. And by the way, the 183 ritual that I skipped was Monday. Monday was the 83rd day of winter, and all the regional banks had a really rough day, and then they got a lot of gains back the next day, and then today they all went way back down again. All this turbulence. Pretty soon JP Morgan will come through and eat them all up and get even bigger. You'll be lucky if there's two banks to choose from 20 years from now. But yeah, the whole ritual on Monday, too, with First Republic going down and then JP Morgan and the Fed saving it. I'm not even going to get into it, but that was the anniversary of JP Morgan Jr. dying, and it was the current CEO of JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon's birthday. And again, I've said it a million times before, and I'll say it again. JP Morgan, look into him. JP Morgan was the only guy who got off the Titanic before it sank. Titanic sank 617 days before the Federal Reserve was established. That's the 113th prime number. Titanic equals 113. 113 is a very specific number from the Talmud that has to do with dishonesty and deception. And again, the people who died on the Titanic, 3 of the world's richest men who were all opposed to the establishment of the Federal Reserve. And then here's JP Morgan and the legacy of his bank that just keeps on winning. So, Jimmy Carter. I talked about Jimmy Carter last week. He did survive March 9th, 39 as the 39th president, but you might have caught the headline this Monday, which had 39 date numerology. Joe Biden gloating about how he's going to read his eulogy. So, we know it's close. We know it's close. Old Jimmy, when's he going down? So anyhow, just wanted to emphasize what we've been talking about with, Damar Hamlin signaling a bad month for March for the markets, stocks, banking, the financial transition. And we'll see. March 24th. How bad could it be come March 24th? Will it be the new Black Friday? That'll be a Friday. March 24th. Will it be the new Black Friday? So, whoa. Luna Barbara, what are you doing? Barbara chipped in $20 tonight. I appreciate that, Barbara. She says we all need to share the knowledge now. Well, thank you, Barbara. I do appreciate that and your big generous tip. And thank you again, Rest in Gematria. Shout out to the super chatters. Shout out to Rest in Gematria who comes through a second time. But yeah, rather than go on and on and on, I would like to open the phone lines tonight. And if calls can be hyper-focused on what's going on with the markets, if you got something to add, it would be nice. I'd like that to be the theme of the show tonight, but at the same time, it is always open mic night, so if you want to go elsewhere, that's also okay. If you want to talk March Madness, we can do that tonight. We just had a big March Madness live stream on the Patreon today. If you want to check that out, I'm going to do a late night March Madness Patreon stream tonight after the stream. Normally at this time I'm drinking chamomile. Tonight we're drinking black tea. And that's because I'm staying up past my bedtime for the ultra late March Madness overtime decode. But let's go out to North Carolina. North Carolina first in line tonight. 980, you're on.
Hey, brother, just wanted to say hello tonight. Nice call for the banks, too, on Monday. I was guaranteeing it to all the people that work over the weekend, so nice call. Just wanted to give something to the listeners. Wanted to let you know, wanted to know to listen. Everything that we see on TV or anything we see, it's actually our job to start learning how to decode, because everything that we see is going by this. So actually, you're the most important person in the world. And I don't know if you even really know that. And he's right. So everybody listen, he is exactly right. Everything we believe in, even down to the religion. I understand that I got people that's religious and deep in the faith, and I'm not here to shake that. But please understand that is theirs. They cover all angles. So anything that you get to see really needs to be decoded. And that is how you start building the proof on these people, because they can't go off of their patterns. They have to. They need the numbers. So as long as we know they need these numbers, they will come. And the more people decode them, the more we will start uncovering everything that's being decoded. But your religion and everything, whether we want to believe it or not, if they teach it, then it's indoctrination. And so I just want to tell you, I appreciate you for being able to break this code, because this is what's actually going on. And it's really the answer to all the unknowns that people don't really know about. It's the numbers. And everything goes by the numbers. So just want to tell you, I appreciate that, brother. I'm not here to have no long conversation. Great call on the market. And it's everybody's job to talk to people. Every person you see, you don't get every person that talks to me. I immediately talk about numbers. So if they say, did you see what was on the news? I say, oh yeah, I seen the propaganda. It was about the numbers. You want me to show you?
Indeed. And again, I mean, you can, if you learn how to use the knowledge, you can have confidence before you even decode the headline. Because I'm literally showing you guys every day how every major headline, the whole thing yesterday with Russia and the drone, I mean, it's all BS. It's all by the numbers. It's nonstop Kabbalistic propaganda every single day. I turn on CNN's front page tonight after finally taking a break from March Madness, and what's up at the top of the screen? Idaho wants to take part of Oregon. It's like, come on, man. On the 74th day of the year, the one state that equals 74 out of the 50 states is Oregon. It's just every day, you guys. You learn this little simple code. You just see what a big joke it is. So,
yeah, if they teach it to us, it's got to do with the numbers. I'm realizing now they won't report it without it lining up with these numbers. These numbers must really be so important to them that they will not report nothing if it doesn't fit their timeline.
Indeed.
And I'm starting to realize that.
Indeed.
Yeah, well, so, man, I appreciate you, brother. I don't want to hold the line. I want some other people to get in. You know, I'm waiting for Rambo.
All right. Yeah, he'll be on soon. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, appreciate you, brother.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
All right. Big compliments. Let's go out to 772. What's up? What's up, young guy? I know who this is.
Hey, Zach. Did you get my tweet that I sent you about the Ukraine drills that they're doing?
I missed it.
I sent it and I noticed they deleted it.
No, I missed it. But I've noticed the last 2 days on Twitter, ever since Pi Day started yesterday, I noticed I'm not getting like any views or any traffic on Twitter. So I think they must have started a new level of censorship.
Yeah, so what they did is that there's this video. I guess I can link it in the chat. What's funny is that I tweeted it to you 10 times because I knew what they were doing. And it's funny that it still didn't show up in your feed.
Well, I don't really look at my messages or anything. I just kind of get on there and post what I'm going to post. I'm not good at keeping up with messages. I'm too busy on the grind each day, but I'm sure if I go there, I'll see the notifications.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I didn't even message it to you because I know you get a lot of messages. I just assumed that would show up in your feed at some point, but I mean, and I mean, I don't get your stuff either. Like, I was on there. I mean, I don't use it too much. I don't really like Twitter, but I went on there and I didn't see like any of your tweets at all. Like it was just from a bunch of people that I don't even follow, and like from Elon Musk, who I also don't follow. And I didn't see any of your stuff. And then when I went to your page, it's like you were tweeting all this stuff, and it was like I wasn't getting any of that. So I was like, okay, well, I've already had it.
Okay, but nobody cares about this on a radio show. My friend, you call in a lot of time about like your own personal stuff, what's going on. Like it's a radio show that people are listening to, so you want to call in with like a worldly topic or something that people would be interested in besides what's going on in your own life. I appreciate you, young guy, but I mean, almost all your calls are like a direct question for me about, hey, can we do... Again, when we're calling the show, let's talk about something that other people will want to listen to.
Okay, well, the only question I'll leave you with is, who do you think we should invest in that's down a lot, that's probably going to go back up today?
I need to do all my market analysis for today. I've been getting in with all the college basketball stuff today, and I got behind on my market analysis, so don't have the answer for that right now.
Okay, well, that's all I have.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thanks. All right, let's go out to Michigan. What's up, Michigan? Michigan. Okay, it's one of the nights where they're just listening. Let's go out to veteran caller in New York. Is he ready? 347.
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, so I really don't really got nothing tonight that caught my eye.
That's amazing. That's the first time that ever happened.
The only thing that really caught my eye was the drone thing, and I saw your video about the drone thing over in the Black Sea. And what else caught my eye? Nothing really caught my eye today to really talk about.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't get hacked today. It seems like I got through the Ides of March without getting harassed today, so that's good news.
All right, Zach, that's it.
All right, man. You have a good night.
All right, you too.
Amazing. That caller always has great observations, so it must have been extra boring today. Let's go out to Texas, 409.
Well, I'm just listening.
All right, thanks for listening. Let's go out to 916, California.
Hey, Zach.
Hello.
Hey, Zach. This is Jesse from Sacramento.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, I came to your knowledge like 3 years ago. The crazy thing, I just turned 47 years old when I came to your channel.
Oh, wait, you're saying you were 47 when you first came to the channel?
Yeah, when I first came to the channel.
I see.
It was at the start of COVID.
Okay.
So I'm a first-time caller, so I'm kind of nervous right now.
You sound good.
I just bought your book. I just bought your book about a year ago.
Thank you.
So I just gotta bring it out so you can see if you can sign it for me.
Yeah, are you close to LA?
I'm in Sacramento.
Okay, I'm going to pass through the Bay Area. I'm going to drive down there pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'm going to be down there pretty soon, so I'll definitely
Yeah.
sign your book.
Hey, I got a hold of you about the, I don't know if you remember about the shooting in Sacramento, the downtown.
Yeah, last year on April 3rd.
Yeah, when I showed up at, I don't know if you remember that church shooting with a girl that they were interviewing. I told you about that. Her name was Brooklyn Mohammed.
Okay.
And then after that, like, what was it? 44 days later, there was a shooting in Brooklyn.
Right.
I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, no, I do remember that now. Good memory.
Hey, I was gonna ask you if you did a decode on. There was a helicopter crash on February the 2nd. This year, that helicopter was on the way to East Palestine. I guess they were gonna go and research the crash over there. And I don't know if you've seen that or not.
I don't remember that. I thought there was not a plane crash on the way to East Palestine, but you're saying helicopter.
Yeah, there was a helicopter crash that happened February the 2nd this year, and it was 3 weeks. No, it was 3 years and 3 weeks after Kobe's crash. And if you look at the numerology on that, they all match up, like the first five, the numerology for that date to when Kobe's crash was.
Okay. It looks like it was the Tennessee National Guard. Is that the one?
I think so. I know 5 died in that crash, in that helicopter crash. I just got word from that. A friend of mine just called me and was telling me about that. And I was wondering if you did a decode on that. I was like, man, I haven't heard you say anything about that.
No, I didn't. I don't think I caught that story.
They left the Clinton Airport in, I think, Little Rock, Arkansas. That's where they left.
Okay. Oh, no. Yeah, I don't think I covered this. Yeah, I'll go back and look. So. Yeah.
Okay, all right, Zach. That's all I want. I'm kind of under the weather right now, so I just wanted to kind of first-time caller too. So. All
right, man. Well, I appreciate it.
Man, appreciate your work, man. I've been sharing it ever since I started following you. So, it's just crazy how people just don't see. It's just get a fluoride stare back.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, indeed it is.
Yeah, but thank you, man, for all your work, man.
Well, you're welcome. Thanks for calling tonight.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, take care.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's go out to, haven't heard from this guy in a minute. What's up? What's up, Delaware?
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
How you doing?
Yeah, I know it's been a long time. Yeah, I know it's been a long time. You know, it's good to be back on the show. But I've been trying to, get some things going with myself. I've been trying to get out of the matrix and whatnot. But to me nowadays, it just seems so baffling how to tell people that our government is poisoning our water, clouds are being made to block the sunlight, and our food is fake and everything else. It's just crazy because how do you tell the average dumbass out here all of this stuff? There's just no way around it, and people want to keep calling me a conspiracy theorist. There's too much proof to this shit now. There's just too much proof to China making a fake sun, to these air balloons, to the fake food and stuff. By the way, I quit eating meat back in December, so I've been eating plant-based food ever since January. I quit eating meat on December 23rd. No, I don't eat no more chicken, no more fish, no more beef. All I eat is plant-based food, salads, peanuts. You know what I'm saying? I drink a lot of water. I don't drink milk anymore. No more cheese. No more cookies. You know what I'm saying? I've been like a full vegan now for the past 2-3 months, and I feel good. But aside from that, it's to me it's just sad. How the way things have gotten out here. You know what I'm saying? And one of my friends sent me some information about how the COVID-19, about how it can be transmitted from skin to skin. Say for example, somebody has the vaccine and they cough or sneeze, then one of us could catch it. And I have an article from Pfizer that he sent me that has proof behind it. And most of my friends, are vaccinated, and I've been smoking bud with them and hanging around them. And who's to say that that I don't have the vaccine from them, because it can be transmitted through saliva, and I'm sharing books with my homies who are vaccinated and stuff like that. It's just mind blowing, man. It's just crazy, and I'm just trying to keep my spirits up. You know what I'm saying? I've been meditating lately. I've been trying to escape the matrix every way I can. At times, I cry at night sometimes, and I am now, and I'm not a bitch. It's just that I just hate the way things have been going. I'm a grown ass man, and I'm a cry because I just hate how shit's going. I have a little niece, and I don't want shit to be, fucked up when she gets my age. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed, man. Well, the good news is you're persevering, you're spreading the word, you're taking better care of yourself, and your niece got you to help guide her. So, yeah, I know exactly how you feel, though. I know exactly how you feel.
I get tired of people calling me conspiracy theorist. The next person that calls me that, I'm going to punch them in their fucking face. You know what I'm saying? I get tired of it because there is no conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy because we're being conspired against. How is the conspiracy theory that our food's fake? It's not a conspiracy theory that when you go eat fucking red meat, you're eating a blood animal and parasites.
We got a commercial break. I'll take you back after the break. Sit tight, caller. We'll be right back.
You're going to be better happy, you know what I'm saying?
Indeed. Sit tight. We'll be right back.
Now, there's two ways to ask. Ask with intelligence. It didn't say ask intelligently, but I'm sure it meant that. Don't mumble. You don't get anything by mumbling. Be clear. Be specific. Intelligent asking means how wide, how high, how soon, when, what size, what color, how much. Define what you want and describe what you want. That's powerful. Goals become like a magnet. They pull you that direction, and the better you describe them, the more they pull. So ask intelligently. Here's number 2. Ask with faith. That's the childish part of the equation. Believe you can get what you want like a child, not an adult. Adults are too skeptical. So the formula really reads, make plans like an adult and believe in them like a child. And the most incredible things will happen. Just try it for 90 days.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine, great for heart palpitations. By Anne, before I started using this product, every afternoon my ankles and my hands would be swollen. That doesn't happen anymore. So if that part of their advertising is true, I have to assume that the rest of it is also. Not to mention that when I had my yearly blood test, only a few weeks after beginning to use this product, my cholesterol had dropped over 30 points. I'm going to continue to take it. By Croc, I love this product. It really works. By Brad, works great, thank you. Tell us your story. Get your Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
Once in a decade, a true story comes along that remembers the future. After 6 Amazon bestsellers, I have completed the epic Birth Trilogy, a true story of Earth. By reading the Birth Trilogy, you will journey with the characters from the origin of Earth to its final destiny in a white-knuckle ride that combines the intrigue of Tom Clancy with the epic scope of Prometheus and Interstellar. You will learn more about the purpose of life, the mystery of death, and the true nature of your soul than you thought possible. The Birth Trilogy is now available on Amazon and Kindle. The audio version is a free bonus when you buy the paperback, so even if you're not a great reader, don't worry about it. I read it for you. Use the Amazon app today and buy the Birth Trilogy, spelled B-E-A-R-T-H, or search for my name. I'm Brooks Agnew.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
All right, we're back, Truth Seeker. We are going to go to Rambo in just a moment, but I want to let the last caller finish his thought because I think it's a thought that most of us can identify with. And it's funny, what he's talking about is nearly what I made the show about tonight. Because, yeah, I was like frustrated in the same type of thing he's talking about. It's just like, you know, it's amazing how many people see what's wrong in the world, but then they can't go past like politics. The reason things are wrong is because of the Democrats. If we just get rid of the Democrats, then everything will be, you know, or for some people it's the Republicans. Oh, it's the Republicans. And it's just like, oh my God, can't you guys see that it has nothing to do with politics? I mean, that should be obvious to everyone if you have a brain. But and then it's like they won't entertain ideas like, it sounds like a conspiracy theory. Illuminati, isn't that like a Disney movie? It's like, no, it's a real thing. Established May 1st, 1776. You can see it's real if you just learn this little simple ABC 1, 2, 3 code. It's still going on today. But yeah, it's amazing. And again, it's the spell, man. It's like people are just under the spell. It's just like almost everyone's a bot. They have the same kind of responses. They have the same limitations. And yeah, it's very frustrating. You know, I've been in a lot of people's chats lately just trying to share information, just seeing if people in the financial world connect. And just getting the same, just like corny responses. Like, just saying things like, hey, do you guys think it's a coincidence that the big tech bank collapsed on the anniversary of the dot-com bubble bursting? Everyone's like, how could that not be a coincidence? I mean, it's just amazing. Everyone's mind just gravitates towards coincidence, conspiracy theories, like the two words that everybody uses to just dismiss everything away. You don't think it's funny there's a national emergency on 911? Just a coincidence. Coincidences, you know, they happen all the time. My dad used to say that to me all the time. He's like, well, coincidences happen all the time. I'd say, yeah, because we've been trained to think everything's a coincidence. It's like coincidence programming day after day. These aren't coincidences. All right, let's go out to 302 again so we can finish this thought. What's up, man?
Yeah, I'll finish my thought. Long story short, I called my grandparents a couple of days ago, and my grandparents told me that we're an American Indian. Long story short, my grandparents on my father's side, my grandma's mother was American Indian, and her mother and her parents were American Indian, and their bloodline heritage traces back to American Indian tribe here in North Carolina, and also one out in Kansas City, Missouri. And then my grandpa's parents, his parents were mixed, and their parents were also American Indian, and their heritage and bloodline traces back to an American Indian tribe here in North Carolina. And then my mother's mother, her mother was mixed, and her parents were American Indian, and their lineage traces back to American Indian tribe out of West Virginia. So all shit about Africa and slave ships is a fallacy. I am 100%, if not 80%, American Indian. Africa is a fallacy. Slave ships, fallacy. Translate slave trade, North Atlantic trade slave, all that shit is a fallacy, complete fallacy, a lie. I am American Indian, not African. And I'm glad my grandparents told me that.
Indeed. Yeah, sounds like your grandparents are pretty awake. So you tell them about the NFL and how black quarterbacks only win on the native teams?
Right. Yeah, I mean, my grandparents, they don't watch football like that. They don't really understand football like that. So I really can't talk about football like that with them, except for my grandpa.
I see. All right, man.
I'll keep my call short and sweet. Thank you for letting me talk. And it's been a while since I've been on here. I'll get on next Wednesday, and I'll let you get and I'll let Rambo get on.
All right. Well, stay strong out there, friend. We all get how you feel. We all have the same thoughts. So appreciate you calling in all the time. You have a good night.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah. Take care. All right. The man of the hour every week. It's his time to shine. What's up, Rambo?
I was hoping to just do decodes, which, I do have a decode. It's titled Doja Cat, Celebrity Illuminati Mind Control in Plain Sight. But I have to address something. I was hoping I didn't have to address it again. I brought something up before, and I was hoping it was passed, but it's come up again, and I have to address it. I mean, I'll still do the decode. It's related to this. It was a couple of weeks ago. You did a live stream. You brought up, you brought up Fritz Springmeier. Remember, you said that Rambo thinks this guy's supposedly so great, and that Fritz Springmeier was, I mean, quote, full of shit. Then you said that, because I brought up his book. Fritz Springmeier's book it's one of the core books. It's a groundbreaking book for anyone in the truth movement. It's generally accepted. Like, several books on mind control have come out after that. A lot of it is based on it. And all the things he says that have been, he talked about the symbolism. Nobody noticed that before. The rainbow, the butterfly, especially, things like the umbrella. Like, no one thought twice about things like that. Why celebrity females always have like feline themes. Nobody noticed all of that until he brought it out. It's groundbreaking work. And he talked about the CIA MK Ultra, this Project Monarch. Well, that's what a monarch butterfly is symbolized. Even non-mainstream has confirmed a lot of what he said. And I've done a lot of decodes on that topic. And his book is the Illuminati formula used to create an undetectable total mind control slave. I know it's a long title. I put some links in there. But you remember you did a live stream a couple of weeks ago. You said Rambo thinks it's Fritz Springmeier.
Yeah, I was talking about Will. I was talking about Will because Will has him on a lot, and these days he's pushing things like the purple lights that they're starting to replace the standard street lights with are going to kill us. And Will asked about Gematria, and he said, he doesn't touch that because it's satanic, and he's a Christian. And it's just like, this guy is so... And all he talks about over and over, he says the same things every time Will has him on. He's like, the Illuminati recruited me, and I rubbed shoulders with the Illuminati types. Like, what is this guy even talking about? Like, how do you rub shoulders with Illuminati types? How's the Illuminati recruiting you? Again, he just reminds me of a lot of the other bullshitters on YouTube, or just out in the truth community, and... just his whole thing about Gematria, too, the way he downplays, like, okay, so this guy thinks purple lights in the street are going to kill us, but decoding what the cabal's actually doing is satanic. So, I was mostly talking about Will, but I did mention that you also like the guy, so I don't think that's something to get your feelings so hurt over.
Well, it's not about hurt feelings. I mean, I've brought this up before, because I've done... See, this is now you're subject to make it seem like I'm oversensitive. But if anything, I'm actually exceptionally forgiving. I'm the complete opposite.
Okay. Well, again, I was mostly talking about Will because I'm not happy with Will, and I also just didn't like that Fritz, because to me, Fritz's whole response is like, so Fritz believes in the cabal's religion, the purple lights are going to kill us, and talking about Gematria is satanic. I wonder why humanity's so stuck. So, anyway, that's the point I was making.
Okay. The part about mind control, that part is undeniable. He talks, and that's, you're talking about his book. His book just deals with MK Ultra style trauma-based mind control, and it is a mind, it completely blows the door open on MK Ultra mind control in, by institutions, the elite families, the prison industrial complex, the military, especially the secret societies, including Jesuits. He calls out Jesuits. That was his book. So that book alone, just the book itself, is legit, and it's been proven legit. Even the mainstream has accepted it. So that's separate from what the other things he rejects. And I've always said, when it comes to the truth, there's no one-stop shopping. You're not going to get Gematria plus, alchemy, astrology, and everything in one place. You go to different sources. That's how I learned. I went to different sources. I learned about Gematria from Mark Passio, but he didn't do Gematria. I actively looked who's doing Gematria because I want to know more about this. I learned about it from Passio, but he didn't really teach more. I learned other good things from him, but not Gematria. That's how I found you. I said, here's someone who does Gematria, and that's how I do it. If someone's not teaching Gematria, I'll just go to somebody who does teach it, and someone's not, the details of Freemason ritual. Well, very few people understand that. Well, someone teaches it, I'll go there, but I don't expect them to know everything else. But just the book itself, which, I've quoted a lot. MK Ultra Mind Control, no one in the truth community doubts the validity of MK Ultra Mind Control, but that book, which I've quoted, which a lot of my decodes are based on, it's been proven right, and which I'm going to have another decode, where again, it's symbolism that nobody else knew. During the George Floyd riots, for example, they had all these umbrellas. Now, to the vast majority viewing, it's just umbrellas. And like you talked about how people dismiss quote unquote conspiracy theorists. Well, that's what they're doing. If you say, wait a minute, the umbrella is actually a symbol, a mind control symbol, that's the type of thing that gets dismissed. But so I was surprised, like, wait a minute, I've talked about that, things about like the umbrella. I've done decos about the umbrella. I think you even quoted what I said about the umbrella. Fritz Springmeier explained what it is. It's a symbol of infiltration. You bring the umbrella down from the inside. So that's a metaphor for infiltrating something to bring it down. And things like that get dismissed, but he was right about that. And you see a major example in the George Floyd protests where the umbrella was front and center. He had that, and he was clearly MK Ultra. This guy in this weird state with a hammer breaking the windows of an AutoZone. And he had an umbrella with him, and he was hitting it with a hammer. And shattered glass is another MK Ultra symbol, which he's talked about. So apart from other stuff just on mind control, the book is legit. It's been confirmed by mainstream. Does anyone really deny Manchurian candidates? Or think that Sirhan might have actually been a Manchurian candidate? Or that Project Monarch and Project MK Ultra really happened that he has said, he went more in detail. That is all legit, even mainstream has admitted it. So yeah, the other part, yeah, okay, you didn't mention the other part, but I heard my name being mentioned. You said Rambo thinks his book is so great. Like, you didn't even say, well, Rambo thinks Fritz Springmeier is great. I never said Fritz Spring. I talk about the book. But the other parts of his life is questionable. He has like marital issues. That's not even his real name. He has a pseudonym. He has like 5 different pseudonyms. That apart, the book itself is, and I show it connects a whole bunch of dots. And this is one of the central themes, mind control. For lack of a better term, truth movement, but that just should be regular news. But I never praised Fritz Springmeier as a whole. It was his book and that work particularly, because I know there's some other issues with him, the book itself. And you said that the book was total bullshit based on nothing, and that dumb people fall for it. So you can understand why I would have an issue. This is not about being oversensitive.
Is that what I said?
I have the quote exactly. You can go to the video.
I don't think I said that about his book. I didn't say that about his book. I said that about the things he was saying, the purple lights and stuff. I mean, that's the stuff I was talking about. His claim about the purple lights they're putting here to kill us is a dumb claim.
Well, you can pull up the video, because something like this, because we've gone over it before, I hope I wouldn't have to go over this again. I thought hoping we were past it. And that is verbatim. You talked about how Rambo thinks Fritz Springmeier is so, and I never even said that I think.
Okay, well, Rambo, you have my number. You can call me about these things and not call on TFR. I mean, people don't want to hear this stuff. I mean, and again.
This is the thing. I agree with that, but you mentioned my name in a video, so you didn't call me and say, by the way, Rambo, I have an issue with Fritz Springmeier. You keep mentioning. You didn't mention it that way. This is what I talked about last time. I was hoping I wouldn't have to readdress it. How if there's a problem you have with me, that's fine. If it's a quick.
The problem was with Fritz Springmeier. The problem is with Fritz Springmeier and also with Will. I know that's what I was mostly talking about. I mentioned that you do like his book, but again, to me, the guy doesn't come across as credible. Do you think his claim that he rubs shoulders with the Illuminati is credible? That the Illuminati recruited him? I mean, when people make claims like that, it's just as likely as the purple lights that they're starting to put up are here to kill us. So
I think the book itself is credible, has been proven credible, and I've only ever referred to the book and not Fritz Springmeier himself. There are other issues I've never brought up, like the issue is he has marital issues, he cheated on the wife, all that kind of thing. Fritz Springmeier is not his real name, so there's some doubts about that. But the book itself has been proven legit. And I would prefer to do these things in person. That's why I brought it up last time, which I didn't think this would happen again. It's happening again. Every time there's an issue with me, you do it on a forum, and I'm here every week at the same time, reliably, for 5 years, every Wednesday at the same time for 5 years.
Okay, and I've given you a bigger and bigger time slot as time's gone on and promoted you. And again, I mean, Rambo, the stuff that you're getting so hurt about, again, I think you should go back and listen to it, because I know I was mostly ranting about Will in Fritz Springmeier, and I just mentioned that, yeah, Rambo does endorse his book, but again, I'm mostly talking about that because Will is now talking shit about Gematria, and then he has Fritz, who's also making it seem like it's some bad thing. That was the point of my statement. It wasn't about you. So.
Yeah, but you keep going back to making it seem like I'm super sensitive when, in fact, I'm actually extraordinarily forgiving. Because we went over this before, I still show up on the show, and this happened 2 weeks ago. I still showed up last week with a quality decode, but you keep going back to calling me oversensitive. But if the shoe was on the other foot, I don't think you'd be so thick-skinned about it. And the thing is, there's no need to mention me if it's about Will and what Fritz said. I only ever talk about the book. It would have been different if I said what a great guy Fritz Springmeier. I've only ever talked about the book, and I've demonstrated how the elements in the book tie into what's going on in the world today in ways that very few people talk about. Like I give you the example of the George Floyd riots. If you read his book, you'd understand why there's so much umbrella symbolism. That's not praising Fritz Springmeier. That proves the book legit. If you read the book, then you'd understand that. About the book. And you said that Rambo Fritz Springmeier book is so great, and you said that Fritz Springmeier was full of shit. Okay, but we're talking about the book then. So the book, and you said the book is total bullshit based on nothing. You said, and then you said that dumb people fall for this stuff, which that's referring to me because you did mention me.
Well, I know when I made that statement, I was talking about him talking about the purple lights. That's what's annoying me about it. He keeps going on about these purple lights that they're putting up everywhere. It's like, come on, to kill us? It's what the purple lights are about? Come on. That's what the statement was at. So maybe I didn't speak the most clearly, but again, it wasn't supposed to be a shot at you. I just mentioned that he's the guy that Rambo likes his book. So anyway.
Yeah, but you said Rambo likes his book, but you said his book was total bullshit based on nothing.
Okay.
You said only dumb people fall.
Here's the deal, you guys. Rambo does great work. You guys can check out his YouTube channel, The Truth Codes, and he does excellent work. And we'll leave it there for tonight with Rambo. And thanks again, Rambo, and keep on doing the great work. And maybe you can get Fritz Springmeier to promote you for the next 5 years. Take care, buddy. Okay. So, again, you guys, here's Rambo's channel, The Truth Codes. But, yeah, again, I don't even want to deal with it. So, Rambo's Decode is in Rambo's Corner if you want to check it out. But, yeah, anyway. I'm going to move on to some other callers tonight, and I just don't want to do that again. I mean, to me, that's a joke right there. That's a joke. I don't even want to hear that. It's just like, oh my God, Jesus. So anyway, all right, let's go out to 707. What's up, 707?
Hello, Zach.
Yeah, what's up?
Hello, Zach.
Yeah, what's up? George, you're on.
Hello, Zach.
Yeah, George, you're on.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You cannot hear me clearly.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. There you are. I'm sorry. Let's have technical issues. Boy, I wasn't expecting to be on so early because you're usually on with Rambo for at least an hour or so.
Yeah, but tonight he's just, going in circles, and I already made the point. It's just like, get on with the decode. But yeah, I'm not going to do that again. Rambo's got his own channel. He's got his own platform. He can start using that on Wednesday nights. So what's up, George?
Well, I'm sorry you had a falling out because I always look forward to his presentation. Well, so speaking of going in circles and not going in circles, I just have one thing to present. Although I probably could talk about 5 or 6 different things. Something you have mentioned before is HAARP up in Alaska, which I believe stands for, was it High Altitude Auroral Research Program or Project? What does it stand for? I'm not on at the moment.
It's like, High Altitude Aurora Research Project, something like that, or program, something like that.
Okay, I'm sorry, I should know this. Well, I know you've discussed it on more than one occasion, so I'm not going to belabor that. It was officially launched in 1993, so 30 years ago, roughly. Now, for what it's worth, it is based or housed at the University of Alaska, Fairbanks. And the chancellor of that school is Daniel White. And Mr. White got his undergrad degree from Notre Dame University. So now something you've also discussed numerous times before is the whole history of weather warfare. The British have admitted to engaging in that as early as 1952, on August 15th. They flooded a town in England. What was the name of the town?
Name of the town for what?
For in which the RAF, the Royal Air Force, had first admitted to engaging in weather warfare.
Lynmouth.
Lynmouth. Okay, yes, I'm sorry. Sorry, I should know that. So that was over 30 years ago. Now, how long the Jesuits have been doing this, who knows? But what we do know is since HAARP was launched in the United States in 1993, it was pretty much a safe bet to say that every extreme weather event that has taken place in this country since then, HAARP had involvement with it. Now, I'm outside right now, and it's chilly, but it's clear. But the weather has been, this entire month has been exceptionally cold and wet. And something that they've been talking about this year is the whole idea of an atmospheric river. Now, prior to this year, maybe last year, I never even heard that term. So I decided to go look it up, and it was actually coined in the year 1994, right after HAARP was launched.
Okay.
Just thought I'd share that factoid. So there are other things I wanted to mention. Now, as I said, the chancellor of the University of Alaska, Fairbanks, is named Daniel White. I was going to talk a little bit more about him, but as I said, I just wanted to share that information with you. And I'm sorry you had a falling out with Rambo.
It's fine. It's fine. So.
Okay, so I'm sure you have a lot of other people on hold, so I guess happy Ides of March.
All right, indeed.
And I guess, and as I said, have a good evening.
All right, George. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go out to 510. 510, what's going on?
Hello, Zach.
Hello.
Hey, this is Julian. It's my first time calling. Just wanted to let you know for your work a lot, you know. So I heard you mention that you were going to come to the Bay Area. Is that true?
Yeah, when I drive down to LA, I'll definitely go through the Bay Area because I got to hit Silicon Valley. So.
Oh, I see. That's awesome. I don't know if you have a lot of callers in the Bay Area or a lot of people that follow you in the Bay Area. I don't know if there's like a way to track that because, you know, maybe like have like a meeting or with a group of people that, you know, share that know about Gematria. That's but hopefully, you know, we can get a group or something.
All right, yeah, that's the plan. So when I'm heading down there, I'll definitely promote it in advance.
All right. Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, is there like a theme for tonight's call?
Well, I talked about that at the top of the show, you know, the market turmoil, but also, again, it's people always want to call in and just talk about whatever. So also open mic night.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't really prepared, you know. I thought I was going to be a listener. But yeah, that's great talking to you, and I will always support your work. I bought your book recently, about a month ago.
Thank you.
You know, and I'm trying to teach as many people as I can about the knowledge. You know, the thing about it though is that it's kind of hard to wrap my head around some of the things in the book. So I gotta like keep rereading the stuff. I don't know if it's just me, you know, maybe I have a slow learning capabilities. You know, that once it sticks, it's like, wow, it's undeniable what what's been going on in the world.
Well, repetition's
so
key.
many,
I don't think it's that you're slow. I mean, it was like that for me too. I had to do a lot of repetition before I finally started to get what I was looking at. So took a lot of notes before it started to make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Well, man, keep up the great work, man.
All right.
You're awesome.
All right. Look forward to meeting you in the Bay Area.
All right.
You have a good night.
All right. You too.
Right. Yep. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we're coming up on another one of those short commercial breaks. Again, I cannot control the commercial breaks or the music or any of that. And when we get back, we'll be taking calls the rest of the way. Sit tight.
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the Sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the Sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
He didn't just stand up there and give little discourses, and neither do I. Well, it's about time. You still have to confess that, man. Confess that, man. Confess that, man. Get up. You still have to confess that, man. Confess that, man. COVID-19 is a curse. Oh, I'm so sick. Oh, God, I'm so sick. I bet I got COVID. Oh, God, I'm so sick. Well, it's about time. COVID-19 is had it. Glory to God, I don't have it. I don't have it. I never will have it. Will have it. And I don't mind betting you I'll never be sick again. You still have to confess that, man. Confess that, man. Confess that, man. Get up. You still have to confess that, man. Confess that, man. The devil hates it when believers get money. Most especially preachers. I did it. I did it. Don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. In the middle of all this, I will continue to receive a bunch of money. Just wait till Inside Edition finds out I have a Gulf Stream fund. I did it. Yes, I did. You still have to confess that, man. Confess that, man. Confess that, man. Get up. You still have to confess that, man. Confess that, man. No wonder there was so much power in me. You still have to confess that, man. Confess that, man. Confess that, man. Get up. You still have to confess that, man. Confess that, man.
This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network. TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Condition orange. Condition orange. Situation Delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
We have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
time comes when silence is betrayal.
More for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. Think for yourself. Question authority.
This code has been compromised.
All right, everybody loves some good drama. The chat is all distraught over, what just happened with Rambo. But again, you guys, Rambo will continue to do good work. I don't have any hard feelings against Rambo. I just didn't want to go in circles because it's getting annoying. And yeah, it's the second time in what, about the last 5-6 weeks that he called in and did that. And again, it's just over like petty minor stuff. Anyone can go back and listen to what I said. It wasn't even targeted at Rambo. So again, he's just feeding on the same drama that's going through a lot of other people. And it's a joke, Nobody's promoted Rambo more. And again, so to me, that's the bottom line. He doesn't need to be calling in and being like, hey, you said this in a string 2 weeks ago. And it's just like, come on, man. I mean, didn't we do a show last week? I know I said that like 2 weeks ago. Why didn't you bring it up last week? And that answers in itself. I guarantee he's listening to the trolls in his comments. The trolls are like, hey, Rambo, look at what Zach said. And it's a joke, man. It's like, you're a grown man. You don't need to call in and cry about that. Get on with the decode. God. So anyway, for anyone who has a problem with it, you know what? Go over to Rambo's channel then. If you just want to listen to one of us, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm saying support Rambo. He's doing good work. But yeah, he doesn't need to call in that. If he wants to call in next week and call back to the show and do a decode, he can. But we're not going to do that again. So Anyway, that said, let's get on with the calls. And again, the number to call in tonight, 213-233-3998. Again, 213-233-3998. 208 is up next. What's up, 208? The call board is lagging. Why will it not open up for 208? That's weird. Hold on, 208. I got to reset the call board because it just does not want to take your call. Okay, that's even more bizarre. By the way, you guys, Charmed One asked me to let somebody out of somebody banned somebody that wasn't supposed to be banned, and I couldn't find her name, so I just freed everybody. So all the trolls, the chat's full of trolls. So if it seems obvious that somebody's a troll, like Henry Porter, feel free to ban away. A lot of the trolls got free. There we go. What's up, 208?
I just wanted to come to you as a man and tell you I'm sorry. I got no drama for you. Just listening to
you're not a man. You're not a man. Oh. You're not a man. Adios. You're adios. Okay. Here's why that guy's not a man. He was just in the chat saying how like this work's not getting out because we're not kind to each other, and then the caller calls in and who pours his heart out, and then he's in the chat making fun of that person. So I mean that guy's just a total fraud of a human being. You're not a man. You're a fraud. Adios. Let's go out to 513. What's up, 513?
Hello?
Hello?
Hi. Oh my gosh. Never in my life have I thought I could call into a radio show. Hi, I'm new to the work for about 3 months now, and I just have one question tonight. It's not really relative to all the other stuff, although I did leave some comments about compassion and just whatever, if you want to look at those. My question is, for some time, I got a little addicted to putting in names of people in my family and in the Gematria calculator. how significant do you think those results are? Because, for instance, on one individual, I got things like high-ranking Anunnaki and Mark of the Beast. It was really kind of scary.
I wouldn't consider stuff like that. Like, again, you can find those kind of connections with anybody's names. All of my trolls love to do that, connect my name to whatever nefarious thing they can. But where it is interesting to decode your own name is just to see the organic way it might line up with your parents or your siblings or your significant other. Again, I'll just always go back to my little example. If you just take the alphabetic order with numerology, my dad's full name's 89, my full name's 89. My mom's birthday is 8/9, and again, the day I was born is still to this day the coldest recorded day in terms of temperatures, and the temperature was -89 Celsius. So, I mean, that's just an organic thing that ties us all together. Yeah.
I love that stuff. But I guess I've seen in this particular individual, a lot of that type of synchronicity. I don't know how to describe it, and it lines up with the personality. So for me, I'm like, whoa, I need to pay attention.
Yeah. But but I wouldn't go looking through the calculator and be like, oh my God, my name connects to this evil thing. That doesn't mean anything. So I just wouldn't do that.
Okay. I'm not going to do that. The thing that is weird for me when I put my name in, it matches up really nicely. There wasn't any bad stuff. So I guess.
Sure. It's just like if you've ever seen my trolls, they'll be like, Zachary K. Hubbard equals Lockheed Martin. And it's just like, okay, but what do I have to do with Lockheed Martin? I mean, why is everyone resharing this? Oh my God, did you see his name equals Lockheed Martin? It's like, I mean, what is wrong with these people? So, I mean, there's a purposeful way to use the knowledge, and then there's just a completely arbitrary, silly way, and sadly, that's how some people do it. So,
well, I want to thank you about some of the purposeful reasons I've been using the knowledge. Not only that, I'd never really tinkered around with stocks before, and I'm a middle-aged new grandma, and I thought, let me give it a go, and it's been a lot of fun. So, thanks for that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I just remember a friend of mine who I haven't talked to in years, when she had her first child, her name equaled, I forget exactly how it was. It was like her name equaled 35, and then her first child was born on 3/5. And this is back when I first started with this in 2014, and I just thought, that is so weird how it works out like that. Wow. So.
Yeah. Well, I think there is maybe a little bit of code in everything, and I mean, even though I'm new to Gematria, I have kind of I loved one of the comments you made recently in the last few days about, well, we were always those kids. We were the kids in the back of the classroom, being disruptive because we were like bullshit, and that was me my whole life. And so it's kind of nice to, hear this perspective. And I am a person of, science, and I love numbers. I love chemistry. It's one of the most fascinating things to me to watch how, there's just this equality of numbers. Well, you're going to give something up and you're going to get something in return, and all these things line up so perfectly. So this kind of information and research, it makes a lot of sense to me. And I just want to state that, and I appreciate all of the work. But yeah, it's been a fun journey.
Okay.
And I like how things line up, and whether it's a Gematria calculator that's validating some things, you're like, oh, that makes perfect sense to me. I'm going to keep going on this path.
Indeed. Yeah. I mean, there is definitely a fun side to it, and there is something organic or mathematical about the universe. But yeah, just again, don't get carried away with, oh my God, I can't believe my name equates to that, because again, it's just like I could make myself look like the most holy person ever and the most evil person ever if I wanted to do that. And that's why I've told people 1,000 times when I make videos, I say, listen, I use this knowledge to show how the media contrives the story day after day, and you can see how they do that. And I mean, I feel like I do a pretty good job of proving that day after day. But at the same time, I mean, with the knowledge, there is a way that you can create a narrative to purposely make somebody look really bad, just by connecting things that have the same numbers, but really there's no relationship, like me and Lockheed Martin. So
Yeah. No, I hear you loud and clear. And I know that, we all, for lack of a better metaphor, have a cross to bear, and whatever that looks like. And some of us may have some of those characteristics we've got to work through. But, knowledge is power. And, I just want to add, kind of off topic, more just a level of appreciation for when you've spent your whole life, like let's say the last 30 years, going bullshit, but you didn't know exactly why. And then, for the last 3 months going, oh, wow, that's why. And it's really freeing. It's very helpful. So again, just keep it up. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And thanks for the call. You have a good rest of your evening.
You too.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
I noticed a lot of people in the chat thought that she sounded way too young to be a grandma. It's amazing how some people's voices just stay youthful forever. Like, a lot of people's voices, they seem to get older with time, especially if you smoke. But yeah, some people just stay sounding youthful forever. And I'm sure we've all had that experience where you talk to somebody over the phone a bunch of times and then you finally meet them and you're like, whoa, you look nothing like what I imagined you would look like. Okay, who's next? Let's see. 862. What's up, 862? You're on.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
I'm back.
Hey, Zach.
Hello.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear both of you.
Awesome. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the market. I think we're going to be in a pretty bad shit show here soon. I'm actually heavily invested in the stock market. I'm short a bunch of different stocks. And I think this bank failure, I think it's just kind of the beginning. I think people are going to prepare in terms of like a liquidity crunch. So meaning like you won't be able to kind of withdraw money out, have cash on side, have food, water, all that. So yeah, I think might get bad in the next couple months. So I think it's just kind of might be like a cascade effect. So yeah, I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think things can definitely get a lot worse. I mean, that's what I've been talking about. And March 24th is fast approaching. We'll see what happens. So they got to create the chaos to bring about their plan. I mean, we know that the plan is to bring about the digital currency. And again, somewhere along the way, it's going to happen. It could happen sooner than later. I'll go back to, again, last summer there was a big meeting in Dubai. And the speaker who represented the U.S. said within the next 2 years, we will be on a totally digital currency. And again, we're within, that's, we got about a little more than a year left on that timeline. So sometime between now and next June.
Yeah. The CBDC, they already started doing like a pilot program with that. So it's something they might test out, sometime this year, but I think it might be fully implemented next year. So I think they want to kind of really destroy everything in order to kind of start that back up. So, and that would be total slavery. I mean, I think it's best to have like your own bartering system in which, you can trade, silver, gold, be outside of that system because, once you're in there, I mean, it's going to be hard to get out. So they'll just be able to kind of take your taxes out without you even knowing. I mean, the endless control will kind of be, especially with the 15-minute smart cities that they're already kind of implementing everywhere. You can't even step outside that city zone without getting fined. And you have Elon with these electric cars, which will kind of turn into autonomous cars where the car will dictate where you can actually go and cannot go. So, I mean, the writing's all over the wall. So.
Yeah, speaking of smart cities, shout out to Barbara. She tipped me off to this the other day. They're building a new smart city that's supposed to be 33 times the size of New York City. I mean, that's massive. Neom. They're building it in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. So. I mean, they're already starting it. And I saw Trump, he had a quick campaign speech in which he's all for it. I mean, that's kind of his new kind of push now, is these smart little cities. You want to rebuild the whole infrastructure of the United States, and that's what I guess his new pitch is. So
yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate the call and the question. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, yeah, you have a good night. Okay. Yeah, and just all the, you guys, listen, for all the people in the chat that are like, I'm not asking you guys to take sides with the Rambo thing. I mean, it's unfortunate that happened tonight, but I don't think Rambo's some shill. I met Rambo recently in New York City. He seemed like a very sincere, nice person. And again, it's just the reality of online. It's like people get online and then they get caught up in drama and all the trolls just feeding nonsense into your ear. And again, I wish people weren't falling for the troll temptation, but a lot of people give into it. So yeah, again, there's no reason to block out Rambo's work. And again, Rambo's best work is on his own channel anyway. He does a really good job with the video editing and the music and the recording. So if he doesn't want to call into the show anymore and do it, that's fine. But again, I'd encourage everyone to subscribe to Rambo's channel and, follow him there. Or who knows, maybe he'll be back next week and we can get on from this week. But yeah, I was more patient with him last time when he called in doing that. But tonight I was like, okay, this doesn't need to happen again. And again, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I know what he's talking about, and I know who I was targeting, and it wasn't him. It was Will, who I'm not happy with, and just the Fritz guy. Because again, when Will asked Fritz about Gematria, he's like, oh yeah, that stuff's satanic. I stay away from that as a Christian man. It's just like, okay, does this guy also not have the discernment to understand the difference between like decoding something to expose it? And it was like in the same breath, he's talking about how the purple lights are going to kill us. I was like, come on, this guy's another full of shit moron. All right, let's go out to 512. What's up, 512?
Freaky! So now I'm finding out your real name is Martin Lockheed.
What?
So, well, I mean, Martin. Isn't that how they pronounce Martin? Martin Lockheed Martin.
Oh yeah.
So your
okay.
real name is Martin Lockheed.
Okay.
You're not Ram. You're not Zach.
It depends on who you ask. People got all kinds of names for me. The other day, somebody was saying my name was Evan. I was like, Evan?
Insane world where literally this is like twice. I predicted so many things. I started to feel it about a year and a half before the presidential elections. We're completely fucked. They've completely taken over everything, and we're living in a fucking bizarro, fucking insane world. And I guess this is just written in stone. It's part of the Matrix. It's part of a little bit in the Bible. And you know what? I can't stand the Creator. He needs to kill himself. Take out the devil with him too, because you know what? The majority of people are good. We ain't got, and most of those people got what, 8% of their fucking brain they use? Give me a break. I mean, I'm special because I know things that I was gifted with since I was a little kid. I knew. Okay, I didn't have to read the books, Zach. I didn't have to read the books. It was all in my head. And then I'd find out, oh my God, the stuff that I know is that I've always felt. I mean, it goes through my head. Well, I'm wide awake. This is all real. This is all real. And I predicted 1,000 different things. Like, my God, the first day, 1989 of the baseball season, I'm watching the Oakland A's, and I said, oh, Oakland's going to the World Series this year. And all of a sudden, hit me like a ton of bricks. And this is one of 1,010 hundreds of stories. World Series earthquake, bad one, real bad. Earthquake, a bad earthquake. It's going to happen during the World Series, and I told everyone about it, and it happened. I got to watch it. I knew. I was even asked that day, so Gordy, is it going to be a World Series earthquake? I said, well, guess what? Oh my God, it's going to happen tonight.
Okay.
It's in California, Jesus Christ. 8.9. Give me a break. I saw that. I saw the Kuwait War 6 months before it happened. I could go on and on. I walked up to a house. I did a plumbing job.
Hey, man, I appreciate it as always. I'm glad you're still out there. It's the Nostradamus of Austin.
Somebody died. Knock on the door. The lady says,
all right, man. I
night.
know. You've called in and told us these same things before. So, anyway, I appreciate it, though, man. It's always good to hear your voice. And I'm glad we got you out there.
I'm just telling you, Martin Lockheed, I love you. You're great at what you do. Keep on punching.
All right,
Keep
man.
on punching.
Appreciate it.
I love what you're doing. Whatever Zombo did tonight, I missed it. I wish I would have heard him. But I love Zombo, but it's all good.
Indeed. All right, man.
It's all good.
Appreciate you. You have a good night, friend.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. He reminds me of whenever he calls in, he's always reminding us about the same things. It's like anytime I pick up the phone from my mom, I know she's always going to talk about one of the same things over and over. Anyway, let's go out to Arizona, 623.
What's up, brother Zach?
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, man, quick question. Oh, first of all, man, the other day you were doing a podcast and I called and interrupted on the wrong topic, so my apologies. Well, you know, I was just calling in that day about this JFK Jimmy Carter connection. Have you ever heard of that before?
JFK and Jimmy Carter. Yeah, there are some parallels. I mean, if JFK is Jimmy Carter, they definitely did some surgery and must have taken out some shin bone or something, because Jimmy Carter is definitely shorter. But yeah, there are some interesting similarities. I think, was Jimmy Carter 39 when JFK died? Jimmy Carter might have been 39 when JFK died.
Ooh, I don't know. You're the number man. But there's just a weird connection with this Jimmy Carter and Biden and how you talk about
he was. By the way, yeah, he was
president.
But yeah, so Jimmy Carter was on his 54th day of being 39 years old. Jimmy Carter equals 54, like Jesuit order, and of course he became number 39. So yeah, there are some interesting things with that, but I'm not sure. I mean, it's possible. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's just very interesting. There's a couple videos on YouTube too of Jimmy Carter speaking at the JFK Library, and now Biden's giving his little speech at his funeral that you posted. So it's like, what the fuck, you know? And I understand, like, these people with these bloodlines, they have a lot more power than what we even know, and I'm sure they play multiple roles in other areas. So, you know, I was just wondering, man, it's just an interesting connection, man. I like thinking about the crazy shit sometimes, brother.
Indeed. All right, man. Well, appreciate the thought and the question. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Zach. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. When they called Georgia for Joe Biden, it was on Jimmy Carter's 46th day of his age. Of course, JFK killed at age 46. Joe Biden, number 46. Let's go out to 646, New York.
Hi, Zach.
Hello.
New York City calling in. How are you tonight?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. So I don't know if you noticed this. With that story with the Americans killed in Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
The town was called Matamoros, right?
Right.
So I went digging a little further with this, and there is so Matamoros is the city, right? There is a town in Matamoros called Baghdad, but it's spelled differently from Baghdad in Iraq, right? It doesn't have the H. And I was like really shocked with this because I'm like, oh, there's a Baghdad, Mexico? I never knew this. So I don't know if, well, I know there's a significance with the different spellings, but I don't know if you would, elaborate, because Baghdad in Iraq is spelled Baghdad, right?
Right.
But Baghdad in Mexico is spelled Bagdad, which I thought was very interesting. So I don't know, like, if you might want to elaborate on this, or a little bit if you want to. But I think there's something to that, because I looked up Baghdad in Mexico, and they were saying it was.
Hold on. It's a commercial break. I'll be right back with your call. Sit tight.
The reasons can change your life. You don't get the answers to do well till you get the reasons. Life has a mysterious way of hanging on to all the answers and only gives them up to the people that are inspired by reasons. So reasons make the difference in how your life works out. Now, what are some of the reasons for doing well? Let's go through a quick list called Reasons for Doing Well. First is personal reasons. Some people do well for recognition. Some people do well for respect. Some people do well for the way it makes them feel. They love the feeling of being a winner. Those are good reasons. I have some millionaire friends that keep working 10, 12 hours a day, making more millions. And it's not because they need the money. It's because they need the joy and the satisfaction and the pleasure that comes from being a constant winner. And see, it's not just the money anyway. It's the journey.
It's amazing how people have been raving about iAlife all over Facebook. They've been posting their testimonials just because they want to get the word out because it's worked so well for them. If you're not familiar with iAlife, it's a 99% pure CBD oil. But the secret is the synergy between the hemp and the ayahuasca vine, the non-psychoactive component of the ayahuasca tea. We recently received an email from a wife whose husband has Parkinson's. For the first time, he's been able to sleep through the entire night. Another customer reported that they're no longer using NSAIDs because their tennis elbow has been relieved with iAlife. The reports have been phenomenal and much more than we ever expected. Everyone should have access to this. That's why if you head on over to iAlife.com right now and use coupon code TFR, we'll give you $5 towards your order. And we'll even ship it worldwide. That's iAlife.com, AYALife.com.
For 5,000 years, the world was ruled with wooden ships by one man. 242 years ago, a small group of free men crafted a new nation built on liberty and freedom. Global elites have been fighting to destroy this new nation called America ever since. Based on actual events, Charm of Favor tells a true story of how they corrupted the election system. They infiltrated federal agencies and murdered witnesses, judges, and even presidents to keep from being caught. Now, the largest and wealthiest crime syndicate the world has ever known has been drawn out of the shadows. They have killed hundreds of Americans and recently attempted to assassinate half our congressmen. Still, they escape arrest through an almost supernatural charm of favor. Read Charm of Favor and be prepared to open your eyes to what may lie just around the corner. Charm of Favor is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
All right, we're back, Truth Seeker. We got an hour and a half of show left. I'd say there's about 10 people on hold. For everyone who's on, if you're patient, you'll definitely get on this evening. And yeah, big news story today, by the way. Aaron Rodgers following on the Brett Favre path, going to the New York Jets. And what age is Aaron Rodgers going to the New York Jets at? At age 39. And what do we call New York? We call it the 39 state. In the NHL, who was it last night? Was it the Kings last night that picked up the 39th win over New York? That number plays and plays and plays. There's so many 39s in New York history, from the World's Fair to the United Nations. And there's another one. Aaron Rodgers at age 39 goes to New York. And that said, let's go back to the caller from New York. Let's see. 646, you're back on.
Yeah, hi. So I was talking about Baghdad, Mexico, and I was just looking at the chat, and they said there's a Baghdad, Florida, and a Baghdad, Arizona, and they're all spelled without the H, like in Iraq, right? So and on Wikipedia, apparently Baghdad, Mexico was instrumental in the Civil War, because I think Napoleon was trying to like set up camps there to undermine, I guess, the Confederacy, I believe. I'm just scanning the article real quick on Wikipedia. So I thought it was very interesting, because I know you and other people broke down the meaning of Matamoros, the actual etymology of it. It means killing of the Moors, but I did not know about this Baghdad, Mexico. Like, it was instrumental apparently in the Civil War. But the spelling, I was like, I know there's a reason why they spell it differently in English in America versus Iraqi Baghdad.
Just for the record, I looked up what Baghdad means. It says it's common for it to be spelled with the H or without it, but it means city of peace.
Oh, wow.
So I find that funny too, in light of how we once, televised the bombing of Baghdad and called it Operation Shock and Awe. So I'm glad I now know it means city of peace. So what a sick joke that was.
Right. So I'm just like trying to figure out why they tying it in with like Matamoros. There's a reason why they always choose these places, right, for these psyop stories. So I thought that was just interesting, because I never knew there was like a Baghdad, Mexico. And then one more thing before I hop off. There's a show that's on Apple TV I think you might be interested in. It's called Foundation, and it's based on the novels written by Isaac Asimov, I think back in the 50s and 60s. From what I understand, the Foundation series deals with like interstellar space empires. It's like the basis of the Star Wars movies. I think I read somewhere that Star Wars, like George Lucas and them, they got their inspiration from the Foundation series. And it talks about like one of the main plots of it. They do mention numerology and sacred gematria, right? So I thought that might be something that you might be interested in. It's Foundation. On Apple TV. I'm sure there's other websites you could check out where you could watch it for free. But I think it's like right up your alley, or the truth community. Like, if you want to, give it a shot, because I think it ties in a lot of stuff. Science, gematria, geometry, whatever. Like, it's a really good show. I think the second season begins this summer, and it premiered on, I believe, let me just look it up real quick. Foundation. And it had like a 369 thing going on with it. And that's Tesla's number, 369. So I think it premiered on premiere date. I'm sorry, I'm just looking it up real quick. September 24th. 2021. So it had like that 369 breakdown. So just putting it out there. That might be a show worth watching, because it's right up everyone's alley.
Okay. I'll look into that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, interesting as always. And let's go out to 661, California.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, Zach. Let me get off speaker real quick. Hello.
Yeah, you're on.
Okay. Have you heard about the Mormon Church getting fined by the SEC?
No.
Yeah, they got fined $32 million.
Okay.
Sorry. They okay. No, I forget what it was. They were the money under question, or the back taxes or whatever, was $32 million, and then the fine that they ended up having to pay was $4 million.
Or hold on. Mormon Church to pay fine to settle charges that hit an approximately $32 billion investment fund. Just to remind people, the Mormon Church recently, in recent years, very quietly opened a big temple very close to the Vatican, for people who were not aware of that. So, and yeah, go ahead.
Yes, exactly. And I wanted to tie into that too, because when they did that, the president of the Mormon Church, this is back, I think, in 2017, he went on the 93rd day, I think that was March 3rd, right? Or April 3rd? He went on the 93rd day of the year, I remember this, to visit with the Pope.
Okay.
Yes. Now, I found it interesting, because then they go, because it's kind of like a Osiris ritual too, because they said Ensign Peak, their investment firm, was going to pay $1 million of the fine, and the Mormon Church was going to pay $5 million. So that's like 14. Sorry, 1 and 4. The Mormon Church was going to pay $4 million for a total of $5 million. So that's like the 14. Of Osiris, the 14 parts. I don't know. I could be reading. I need to do a lot more research into it, but there's something going on there for sure. And at any rate, love the show. I'll just let other people get on.
Okay.
One other thing. Last November, one of the general authorities, which is one of the high-ranking officials of the Mormon Church, went over to Astana. Do you know where that is in Kazakhstan?
I don't.
Astana is like the Masonic city. You have to look into this, man. It's mind-blowing. It's like nothing but obelisks and pyramids and all this Masonic symbolism. At any rate, that's where they have the World Council of Religions. It's in Kazakhstan.
Okay.
The Pope oversees it. The Pope presides over the World Council of Religions. He's not a member of it. He presides over it, though. But all these churches, that we grew up in, Protestant, Mormon, Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, all these churches are members of the ecumenical movement, the World Council of Religions. Back in November, one of the general authorities of the Mormon Church gave a speech where the Pope was there at the meeting, and it was in the Pyramid Building.
Interesting.
So whether you're religious or not, and I know you talked about growing up Lutheran, and whatever we went to, whatever Sunday school we went to, or whatever our family, our grandparents had religious tradition they had, it doesn't matter. Every single one of these churches is sold out, and they're in the World Council of Religions. And they really are. These people are psychotic. They really do believe they're going to bring in an Antichrist, and they're going to bring in a one-world religion. So all these people that think that these people on the left, people on the right are ignorant too. Everyone has that. But there's a lot of people on the left that think that the people telling them these things are actually atheists, but they're not atheists. If you study this stuff, you believe that you come to find out that they actually are Luciferian. Whether you believe in Satan or Lucifer or not, these people are satanic. So, and they do have a religion that they're going to bring in, just like the currency and the one world government. That the religion is going to be a key part, and all this is going down. And I can tell you what, the Mormon Church has a huge role in that, because Silicon Slopes is in Salt Lake City. That's the second biggest computer tech area outside of San Jose.
Okay, very interesting. So, I'm going to look more
anyways,
about that.
I ranted, but have a great show, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on that kind of stuff too. All right, thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, bye.
So that's new information to me about Kazakhstan, but the one thing that I know about that country is they say that's where the apple is originally traced to. They say the world's first apples came from that country. And again, you think of the forbidden fruit. It's often symbolized with an apple. Remember, Genesis has that 666 Sumerian gematria. priced their first consumer computer at $666. It's got the Apple with the bite out of it. I don't know. I'm going to have to look more into that. I think I'm missing something there. 850. What's going on? Sounds like not a lot. All right, 850. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. Let's go out to 610. 610, you're on.
Yo, Zach Malone.
You're on.
What's going on, man? First time I'm calling in, been dragging my feet about it. Can you do me a favor? Check your email for me and just look for my name.
Which email did you send it to? GematriaEffectNews@gmail.com?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, there's probably a few emails in there from me, but I got one in there on the moon. I don't know if you want to pull it up like right this second. It might get shut down or something because it's kind of crazy.
Is your name ULF?
No, it's Keith Andrews.
Andrews?
Yeah, Keith Scott Andrews 23.
All right, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I messed it up. Maybe I typed it in wrong, but I didn't get a bounce back email or nothing, so I just figured you were missing them.
Keith.
But
I'm not seeing any emails. Oh, wait. Yeah, I found it. New moon photos.
All right, start with. Yeah, you probably got a few in there from me.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure this is the photo you meant to send me, but it's what it looks like.
Like it's a close-up. Like it's not a full picture of the moon. It's like a close-up on a specific spot.
Okay. It looks like it's some kind of thermal lens. Okay, so what did you want to say?
Anyway, and I had an idea. I've been kicking around for a while. So you know the missing persons guy, David Politis, does all the missing person stuff?
Not really.
All right, so he was a Fed for like 25 years. He was a cop, and he's got a very specific set of criteria for the people that go missing. So he does a couple movies like 411, Hunted, and Missing People. And he just did one like a UFO connection one. My point is, he's got all these cases, like thousands of cases, goes back 200 years of people disappearing from the same place, maybe 4 or 5 people over the course of 100 years. Have you ever come across stuff that didn't match up? Like, can you even find a news article that doesn't compute your way?
Sometimes I see some old. Sometimes there's news stories that I don't see what the ritual is, but I mean most of the big buzzing headlines every day are a ritual. So.
Okay, so my guess with the missing persons thing is that these aren't quote unquote natural events. So I'm guessing there shouldn't be anything that lines up. Like if you can take a look at some of the cases, and this is somehow prove that like it's not a natural event. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like the people that are disappearing, like if their gematria shit doesn't line up the way that it normally does for you, then I mean that would be the first thing that I'd tell you, because I mean I'm not anywhere near as good as you, and I can pick any article and find some numbers that match up and relate. Anyway, he's got 500,000 followers. Point is that they're educated. Like these guys, double doctorates and educated people. If you can just grab like a few hundred of them, you know what I mean? Anyway, I got a dialogue going with the guy already. If there's some way that you can like get more viewers or something, I want to help. I just don't know what the hell to do.
Okay.
But I figured if you could prove that these weren't natural events somehow, get on his show somehow and get in front of those 500,000 people, again, educated.
Okay, I'll have to look into it. Yeah,
get this in front of people.
I'll check out his show. I'm not familiar with it, but yeah, I'll make a point to check it out. So I'll see if there's.
All right, so one more thing, I'll let you go. Dude, Jason Bashir's, he calls his YouTube page Archaics. He's a chronologist.
Okay.
You ever hear of him?
Uh-huh.
So he did like 27 years in prison, and he's like our age. So he got locked up when he was like 17. He's in the prison basements for a whole time, and he's got all this crazy shit mapped out. And it's just so much of it lines up with your shit. Like crazy shit lines up with it. And I don't know, you two need to get together somehow.
Okay.
Like if you gave his work 90 seconds, I feel like you'd be able to determine right away whether or not, he's full of shit, this doesn't matter, or wow, this is kind of crazy, because he goes back, right? And there's all these time cycles, and the crazy one is every 138 years. So the next one he says is in 2040. Go back 138 years from 2040, you're at 1901. 1901, like 90% of the Fortune 500 companies that are alive today were started in 1901, 1902, in one way or another.
Okay.
Like they had all this shit sitting around in an underground bunker or something, and then just released it like all at the same time. So you can go back 138 years from 1901, and it keeps going, just like with your 19-year cycles. With
sure, but again, that would be 139 years. 1902 to 2040 is 138 years. So, anyhow, I'll look into it.
Whatever. Say it again.
Yeah, I'll check it out, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No doubt.
All right. Yeah. Have a good night.
You too.
Okay. Always more to know. Let's go out to 813. 813, you're on.
Hey, Zach. Thanks for taking my call. Hope you're doing good.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, man. Yeah, so obviously a lot of times you're always talking about the Society of Jesus, known as the Jesuits, or they are a militia of the Roman Catholic Church, which clearly was sanctioned in 1540 by Pope Paul III. But within that, we know that subversion takes place in any power structure on earth, or anyone who's trying to get grassroots efforts to either go against something or to keep something going that's good. And we, the Catholic Church, we see a long line of infiltration in it. It's been noted and documented. But within that, though, despite all that going on, I have a burning question, and that is, what are your thoughts are on it? They talk about how the Catholic Church has incorruptibles, and I don't know if you know what that is or not. But these are the saints of the Christian faith or Catholic faith, who defy death, so to speak. Do you think this is a Hollywood staged or Disney production, or is this something that is beyond the great supernatural, so to speak?
Sorry, I'm doing my best to hear you, but there's just it's like the sound on your phone makes it unclear. What's the question one more time?
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of was illustrating, going along the lines of where you talk about the Society of Jesus, aka Jesuits, they are militia of the Roman Catholic Church, and the long line of infiltration, right?
Right.
And obviously, subversion takes place, whether it's where you're trying to get your grassroots efforts off the ground and people are here to kind of take it down, or it's the Catholic Church to say in its inception, where maybe there were some good points to it until things subverted. So my question is that within this body of ecclesial, knowledge, there are what we have what's called the incorruptibles, or otherwise known as like saints, right?
Sure.
And so I was wondering, is this just a Hollywood production, a Disney theatrics? Claim, doctor them up to make them look like they are still preserved, or is it something supernatural beyond the grave?
I honestly don't know the answer to that question. It is a good question, and it's one of those $1 million questions, but I don't have the answer to that. I don't know. So
I got you. Well, I mean, even within many other religions, there has to be some elements of truth. You know what I mean? There just has to be. And I think it's always wise to, lean on the side of caution when dealing with those types of things. But at the same token, have an open mind. And that's why this show, which exposes so many truths, whether it's, religion, politics, sports, it opens the door for other questions to be formed and other answers to maybe come about. And so that's a good point about this show. But look into that and let me know. Maybe one day what you think about that. I'd be interested. And what is your faith growing up again, sir?
What is my what again?
Your faith as you grew up, you know.
Oh, I was
as a
raised
young
Lutheran.
man?
I was raised Lutheran. So.
Nice. I mean, the parallels and the differences are, I'm sure, apparent, but at the same token, some of the same values, are steadfast and across the board.
Sure.
Cool, man. Well, I will look into that. And again, it's always a pleasure to speak with you. And thanks again for putting on the production and allowing people to speak. I'm sure it opens a lot of eyes. And whether you hear, something off the wall or something that's maybe in your wheelhouse. Appreciate it, sir.
All right. Appreciate the question, too. Wish I had a better answer. Thank you.
No problem, man.
All right.
Take it easy.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right. Interesting thoughts. Some questions I don't know if we'll ever be able to answer. 910, you're wrong.
Zach?
Hello?
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 Yeah, you're wrong.
Zach?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, now listen. I want to read something to you, okay? This is something I wrote. And this is about the universe and the numbers and what's really going on, what Gematria is all about. Okay? Can I read it?
Oh, of course you can. Yeah, I'm listening. I'm intrigued.
Okay, now listen. Oh, gosh. This is a data universe. And one of the creators of this universe, is Jehovah, okay? Now, there are many creators that have created many universes. Each universe has its own source code, right? Universes that have passed the test become part of the multiverse. Universes that fail the test are seen as a virus and destroyed. And our universe is a free will beta universe, okay? Universes that are part of the multiverse go by the rules of the law of one. And this is a low-density universe, meaning most of the beings here are third and fourth density, okay? And our soul has to reach a higher density to be part of the multiverse. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything is source code, okay? This is a source code. If we don't pass a test, we don't go to the multiverse. That's what all of this is all about. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, they have been fighting to get us there. So a lot of people, all this despair and this and that, we have been winning. This universe is changing. It just hasn't reached here yet, but it's changing. So I just wanted to say that. And also with Rambo, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
I'm not throwing him out. I mean, he can come back. I just didn't want to keep going in circles.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. But everything is numbers and codes, honey. This universe number is a source code. Every universe is created by a source code. And it's given a test. If it doesn't pass the test, or the beings there, they'll go on, they'll collect the beings that go on because there is reincarnation, but I'm not going to go into, they'll go into the multiverse. But they will destroy a whole universe. If it's because there's a lot of beings in this universe that have to go. And I'm not going to go into detail, but yeah, that's how it works, honey.
All right. Well, that's very interesting.
I just wanted to say that everything is code. Everything is source. This whole universe is a source code. And there are many creators that have created many universes. We just don't have the source code to the multiverse because we haven't passed that test yet. We're under a test. And we are in the 5th generation of man right here. And this earth right here is a prison earth. It has a veil over it and it has a matrix over it. So, yeah, it's a prison planet and it's a seeded planet. Yeah.
Very interesting thoughts. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good evening.
Yeah,
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
No, I'm not. And that's why I said, I mean, even if Rambo doesn't want to come back here,
Let me tell you, I'm 62 years old. I read Fritz's book over 20 years ago. I learned Gematria, Kabbalah, all of that. His book is legit. The rest of the stuff, but his book is legit.
Okay, that might be fair.
It really is.
I'll have to go back and listen to exactly what I said, but what I was mostly ranting about is what he recently said, because it was just like, come on, man. What you just said is ridiculous, and saying that purple lights are here to kill us, this is what makes everybody like
I know.
go like...
That's what I said, ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's everything you don't follow. No.
So...
Yeah. But anyway, I speak symbolic language very well. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to religion and stuff like that, people don't get it. They're really, really lost. Each individual is tested. You have to go up in frequency.
The commercial snuck up. The commercial snuck
That's
up.
all I gotta say.
Thank
but
you.
I gotta go, Zach.
You have a good night. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the Sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the Sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
Warning, under no circumstances should disinfectant products be administered into the human body through injection, ingestion, butt chugging, or any other route. This video is a joke. Enjoy.
We're also testing disinfectants, readily available. We've tested bleach, we've tested isopropyl alcohol. I can tell you that bleach will kill the virus in 5 minutes, and that's with no manipulation.
So, suppose we hit the body, I see the disinfectant. Suppose we hit the body with tremendous ultraviolet. Suppose we hit the body, I see the disinfectant. Suppose we hit the body with tremendous ultraviolet. We're leading the way in so many different ways. Supposing it brought the light inside the body in some other ways. As we continue to develop potential therapies, I see the disinfectant. I see the disinfectant. I think people are going to know. You're going to know. I'm going to know. I think people are going to know. You're going to know. I'm going to know. I think people are going to know. I see the disinfectant. This whole curse, this whole plague. And is there a way we can do something like that? Injection. Suppose we hit the body. I see the disinfectant. Suppose we hit the body with tremendous ultraviolet. Suppose we hit the body. I see the disinfectant. Suppose we hit the body with tremendous ultraviolet. As we continue our battle against the virus, the data in fact suggests that we're making great progress. A tremendous ultraviolet to the invisible enemy. And then I said, supposing it brought the light inside the body. And then I see the disinfectant ultraviolet through the skin. And it's working very well. Very big deal. We will end this plague. And then I see the disinfectant. I see the disinfectant. That's really powerful. We hit the body. I see the disinfectant. Suppose we hit the body with tremendous ultraviolet. Suppose we hit the body. I see the disinfectant. Suppose we hit the body with tremendous ultraviolet. What the fuck, bro?
You are not moved into the truth frequency.
We are TFR. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
This is not a valid menu. Condition orange. Condition orange. Situation Delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
We have to create culture. Don't watch TV. Don't read magazines. Don't even listen to NPR.
I
time comes when silence is betrayal.
More for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them.
Think for yourself. Question authority.
This code has been compromised.
All right, we're back, Truth Seeker, and as a reminder, yes, Rambo did not do his decode tonight, but he was going to do it on Doja Cat, and on his channel, I imagine he was going to give us some of the highlights of his recent video. So if you missed out on Rambo's decode tonight, check out his YouTube channel, The Truth Codes, and it looks like that what he was going to present tonight is exactly what he presented in his last video. So, that said, let's get back out to the callers. And just so you know, if you guys want to phone in tonight, there are only a few people left on hold at the moment. And one of them is Mr. Philadelphia. What's up, 267?
Hey, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
I'm hanging. I missed the call last week. I just got a couple small things to point out. The first one was one of the Eagles signing, which I found very funny, was them signing the running back Penny, Rashard Penny.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if anybody caught on to it, but his last name is Penny. Who's on a penny? Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, yeah. Lincoln on the penny. Right. Okay, good one.
So the penny, Lincoln Financial Field, they're keeping the whole Lincoln thing alive.
Indeed.
So, yeah, I figured I will point that out to you. We'll see what you thought about that.
Yeah, I didn't catch that one, but that's a great observation. So,
yeah. They probably have some other stuff going on too, but the other thing is this whole Tupac thing is going around and saying that he's alive. I don't know if you've seen any of that.
Tupac's still alive?
And so they're saying there's a whole lot of videos coming out saying Tupac's alive, and you know how he faked his death, and then he doing little connections to videos and things like that. So I don't know if you had covered that or seen anything, but
well, the rumors have always been out there that Tupac's alive. I know a lot of people like to say that it's him and Biggie that are in the hip hop group Jurassic 5, but I'm just like, I don't know about all that. So
yeah.
It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me if they were still alive, but at the same time, it wouldn't shock me if they were dead either. I don't know. So.
Yeah. I just find it funny that with the timing, and I'm not sure of any of these dates or the month or how many days within the year is in right now that connects to that and why they're coming out with all these things about Tupac. But we probably didn't have time to maybe even catch on, even think about it. But it was just those couple things.
All right. Well, great thoughts as always, friend. I appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta get to work tomorrow, so I gotta hang up early.
All right, man. Have a good rest of your evening.
All right, man.
Yeah, take care.
You too, man. Thanks.
Okay. There's a couple people on hold, and somebody in the chat asked if I could go over Rambo's decode. I can scroll over his decode. It's not going to be as good as if he did it. He knows it better. But Rambo did call Rihanna to be in last year's Super Bowl as the halftime performer. It looks like here in this decode, he's saying why Doja Cat should be the Super Bowl performer for number 58 next year. So he's going to see if he can do it back-to-back years, call the halftime performer. Now, personally, I don't know anything about Doja Cat, so... but I can read his post. He says that will be Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. On May 6th, 2022, Doja Cat released the lead single to the movie Elvis. That lead single was titled Vegas. Remember, Elvis had his first... Elvis's breakout year was in 56. Kind of like 5, 6. Celebrities at Doja Cat's level are more often than not subjected to MK Ultra mind control programming. From the work of Fritz Springmeier, I think that's what he meant to write instead of Fritz Springer, who blew the doors open on MK Ultra in pop culture and in other areas. All right, so he linked the book here. So, okay, maybe that's why Rambo was actually doing it. He was trying to hype up the book before we even got into it. Beta, this is the second Greek letter, and it represents the sexual models and sexual alters that the programmers are creating. The primitive part of the brain is involved in this type of programming. An early sexual abuse event will be used to anchor this programming. These sexual slaves will develop sexual abilities that are far beyond what the public is aware is even possible. They also receive the worst kind of abuse far beyond what most people's imagination can picture. Beta alters generally see themselves as cats. This is why Doja Cat has the feline stage name to indicate beta sex kitten programming. Until recently, most of her imagery has been hypersexualized, consistent with beta programming. This is summed up in the title, lyrics, and imagery of her 2020 single, Freak. Okay, so if you're looking at the screen, you got the, the Doja Cat visual. Another artist who has exhibited beta sex kitten programming and general MK Ultra elements is Miley Cyrus, such as in her video for her song Tongue Tied. Miley Cyrus is one of many females who have been used with the beta sex kitten imagery as seen below with the kittens on her outfit. This is the MK Ultra imagery from the music video for Tongue Tied. 3 pictures of her with her tongue hanging out. Stanley Kubrick's classic movie Eyes Wide Shut was hailed as an Illuminati whistleblower movie. Its most iconic scene features the kind of beta sex programming described by Fritz Springer. Women in velvet robes over nothing but thongs wearing Venetian masks are like automatons commanded to sexually service elite partygoers. One of the women, Mandy, agrees to let the elite sacrifice her life to save the life of the lead character, Dr. Harford, played by Tom Cruise. Doja Cat, who performed Vegas and could be one of the halftime performers at the next Super Bowl in Vegas, had a party for her most recent birthday, her 27th, which even the mainstream media TMZ described as Illuminati themed. So there's the headline from October 22nd, 2022. W Magazine even referred to Doja Cat's 27th birthday party as an Eyes Wide Shut themed party. Remember Miley Cyrus' MK Ultra themed music video for Tongue Tied? It was directed by artist Quentin Jones, who is a female. That song released on May 1st, the anniversary of the Illuminati's establishment. I don't know if he commented on that. Quentin Jones and Eyes Wide Shut are Grand Slam super match all across the 4 base ciphers of English Gematria. So, there it is. As Doja Cat's 27th birthday Eyes Wide Shut party, or at her party, she was dressed exactly as the beta sex slaves in the movie, with a thong under a velvet robe, along with the style of mask that Mandy wore. Shout out to Greg Fye, who commented on my YouTube channel that the cake for Doja Cat's 27th birthday had the Freemason emblem compass divider and square. Indeed it did. The all-seeing eye down below. This is consistent with Fritz Springmeier's claim that among the many institutions that carry out MKUltra-style trauma-based mind control is Freemasonry. He mentions this in Chapter 1, Section D of the Illuminati formula used to create an undetectable, total mind-controlled slave. D organizations practicing trauma-based mind control. These groups form what insiders call the network. They are the backbone of what is known as the New World Order. Air Force intelligence, Army intelligence, such as CIC, Atomic Energy Commission, Boeing, British Intelligence in MI6, MI5, and the Tavistock Institute, Bureau of Narcotics, Bureau of Prisons, Catholic Church, Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, Charismatic Movement, Church of Satan, Church of Scientology, Service Club 12, and Club 41 Country Music Industry, Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, Freemasonry, especially the Palladium Rite, 33rd degree and above degrees, Quatuor Coronati Lodge, it's a long list, SRIA and other Masonic affiliated organizations, GPAN, German Intelligence, Shabak, GHG, Hollywood, the House of Saud in Saudi Arabia, which has unprogrammed slaves too, I guess. Okay, so that is the list of things participating in trauma-based mind control. And, okay, and then Rambo says for more, just check out his video on the truth codes. So, interesting. Yeah, we'll see if he does it 2 years in a row. And with that said, we'll go back out to the callers. 919, you're wrong. Uh-oh. 919, can you hear me? Oh, shoot. I hit the wrong button, 919. Hold on. Bear with me. All right, there we go. 919, are you on?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, what's up?
So, I ain't see you really cover it, but did you see that Duke won the ACC championship?
Oh, yeah, Duke won the ACC championship. Yes, they did.
Right, so... I mean, it's crazy because I'm born and raised in Durham. I'm here right now with my Duke shirt on. You feel me? Like, so, of course, we was excited, but I do also know that it was like, you know what I'm saying, a part of the whole code or whatever. And if you just go to the calculator, it's real simple. Like, I'm just get straight to the point, and you can look more into it because I'm pretty sure I won't hit every single point. But if you type in Blue Devils,
yeah,
you get 39.
That was the number we used to predict that Zion Williamson would go to Duke back before he played there. Yeah, indeed.
Right. And it was on the day that the bank collapsed in New York, I want to say. I don't have my notes pulled up right now, but I think it was on 3/12, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, let's go back and see what day it was. Duke ACC Championship box score. Pull it up right here. It was 4 days ago. It was, see if we can get the date here on the screen.
Was it the second day of the collapse?
I got to go back and see. The bank collapsed it began March 9th and then fully collapsed March 10th. If it was 4 days ago, that was March 11th. I don't know why it's not just pulling it up. It looks like the game was officially 5 days ago. It's funny, everything I click on won't give me a date. Oh, it was March 10th. Yeah, it was the date. It was the day the bank officially collapsed. Indeed, it was.
Right. So of course the 39 bank collapsed 39. It's interesting even where the Blue Devils got their name from. Of course, it was basically a military group back in World War I, of course from France. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because when you spell it out I guess the French way that it's spelled, I think that equals 39 too.
Well, here's the more, since you're connecting Duke to the bank collapse, the most direct connection I see is that Duke is in North Carolina Charlotte equals 39, and Charlotte's the second richest city in America behind New York, which also equals 39. You got the stock exchange in New York, and then you have all the banks headquartered in Charlotte. That's why it's the second richest city in the nation. So yeah,
it's funny. It's funny you say that, because now that I'm looking at the Blue Devils, or it might have been if you type in Durham or Durham, North Carolina, one of them, you actually do get the New York number, the 111.
Okay. Yeah. That's right.
So that makes a lot of sense. It's a lot of things that I can go over, because I'm just always on top of this stuff. But also I wanted to point out that something just told me go back and look at like the last time this happened, like a bank collapse. I want to say it was early 2000s, like it may have been 2000 on the head. And Duke actually won the ACC championship that year also. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Once again, history repeating itself.
I see. Interesting. I'll have to look more at that angle. Good observation.
Yeah. So, and also just a quick little, for anybody who wonders why the Duke and UNC rivalry is so big. Because we all know that Duke and the Blue Devils, the Devils represented, you know what I'm saying, by Saturn. You know what I'm saying? I don't got to get too much into that. But the UNC, the Tar Heels, the city, of course, Chapel Hill. That's obvious, Chapel Hill. You know what I'm saying? If you're coming from Durham headed towards Chapel Hill, you actually pass Mount Moriah. You know, Mount Moriah is where Abraham was to sacrifice his son. You know, on the mountaintop. But before he did it, you know, God told him to sacrifice the ram instead, was the mascot of the UNC, North Carolina.
I see. Interesting.
So, and also if you type in Mount Moriah, well, just MT Moriah, it equals 74. I want to say it equals 47 too.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, just the MT Moriah equals 47. It's like basically fucking everything. So yeah, those are just some connections I made. There's plenty more stuff. I don't want to take up too much time, but I just wanted you to look into the Duke and the ACC, then winning the ACC championship on the same day that the New York bank collapsed.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that observation. So sports and news often sync together. So, and the other thing that I see in that is they beat Miami, right? And Miami is the city that's connected to FTX, and we were talking about how the FTX collapse was synced with the Silvergate collapse, and again, that was right before the bank collapse that synced up with on the same day as Duke winning the championship. So I have to think more about this whole narrative you've connected in.
And
here.
I don't have everything pulled up because I really wasn't prepared. But you did something on 153 too. It was a 153 connection. That was a part of the whole bank collapse also.
The first Bitcoin transaction was 153 months earlier, since crypto was all factored into this. Remember bringing
that makes perfect sense because before Duke actually moved to Durham, they were in I want to say Randolph County. I think Randolph equals 38, and the school Duke was actually called Brown School, and Brown School equals 153. And I think plenty more 153s with this also, but I ain't gonna lie, I kind of got a headache right now, and I can't think.
Yeah. Take care of that headache, man. Take care of that headache. So.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I just found some interesting stuff with of course, what's going on in my city. I think it's interesting that like nobody ever picked this up. Like,
hey, by the way, did you have a headache? Hold on. I really appreciate your observation, but just since it took me over 30, I was nearly 40 years. I've known for about a year now. Sweet lady figured it out. But I thought headaches were just something that just naturally occurred for me because my mom would always tell me that her mom always had headaches. So I thought, oh, headaches just run in our family. But I don't have that many headaches anymore, and what I figured out that it was just from eating too much. I never ate a lot of sugar, but just carbs, because carbs break down to sugar in the body. So like if I eat oatmeal and toast, which I ate all the time, it's a lot of carbs, and then when it breaks down, it triggers your blood sugar level, which can trigger headaches. So if you're eating a lot of carbs or sugar, they could be triggering your headaches too. I was just gonna share that with you since that was my problem.
Yeah, I think it could be something with that, but I ain't eat shit all day.
That also gives me headaches.
That's
probably what it is, not eating.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but no, appreciate you for listening. You know what I'm saying? It's real hard to talk to other people that's not hip to this information about this stuff, because they just don't digest the information well, and you hate to see things play out and how people really get crushed by this mainstream media and these headlines. And it's sometimes the Gematria world or just the truth seeking world in general, you know what I'm saying? It gets kind of lonely. So
indeed it does. That's why I try to be active all the time, because I know how all the lonely people are out there. Just like the loneliest days of my life were when I was 18 years old after 9/11. There was nobody to talk to. Everyone thought I was crazy for questioning the whole thing. And I thought, how can I be the only person questioning this? So.
Right. That's just what it is. It's but we'll be all right. All we gotta do is just stay headstrong. We'll be all right.
Indeed. Well, I'm glad you're out there, friend. I appreciate your call tonight. And yeah, get yourself some food so you don't have that headache.
I appreciate it. I will.
All right. You have a good night. Call us again. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Take care. But yeah, that is a good observation. On the same day as the bank collapse, and again, North Carolina's got Charlotte, the banking city. I don't think it's an accident. Let's go out to, I think it's Evan. What's up, Evan?
I just had a couple of observations regarding the tournament, the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Because I was looking over your notes, and I noticed, because I was also taking some notes as well, and I noticed that like some of the win totals for the appearances in tournaments were off, and I was like, why is that? And I was trying to figure it out, and I saw that on some occasions there's like teams had vacated wins because they had like an ineligible player or something. And the example where I caught on to this was Purdue. I think in your notes they're 44-33 in the tournament, but if you account for their vacated results, they're 43-32, and 32 losses in the tournament, and Houston equals 32, and Purdue does equal Houston in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. And I'm not saying that doesn't mean Purdue's going to win it. There are other teams that have riddles as well, but just a note for anyone who's decoding this, that if there are discrepancies in the win-loss totals for teams in tournament games, I'd say look at both the overall results and accounting for the vacated results.
Okay, that's an interesting thought. Yeah, I've never really accounted for that. I just use what they have on the college basketball reference site.
Right. Yeah, because I was looking at Wikipedia, and it's weird because sometimes it'll say the win-loss total including the vacated wins, and then sometimes it'll say it without the vacated wins. So I think it's just you have to look out for it.
Okay. Good thought. Good research. Yeah, the one thing about Purdue, they're the one seed that the media hates. All of the media is selling the idea that Purdue's going to get beat early. So we'll see if that's true, or if the media's duped the public again. Last year, the one seed that the media didn't even say a peep about was Kansas. They just pretended like they weren't there. And yeah, we'll find out soon enough. So.
Yeah. Also, the other thing about Purdue is that if the 2020 tournament, this might be a stretch to say this, but if the 2020 tournament hadn't happened, if the 2020 tournament hadn't been canceled, this would be the 85th tournament, and Purdue does equal 85.
Yeah, but it's not. It's the 84th tournament, so.
Right. I do think that is a stretch. But anyways, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Again, like for example, it's the 84th tournament. Houston hosts the championship. In 1984, Houston lost in the championship to Jesuit Georgetown. And Cougars equals 84, like Jesuit equals 84. So that was 1984. Now here we are in the 84th edition of the tournament. And Houston hosts. Go figure. Something that is interesting about Purdue, shout out to Kayla Decode Talker. March Madness has Gematria 206. The 1984 championship was in the 206 area code, Seattle. And Purdue, the number one seed that the media says is going to get eliminated early, they did have a former player, Caleb Swanigan, die suspiciously on 20/6 last year, shortly after last year's tournament had ended. And again, Kayla pointed out that the state of Indiana, where Purdue is 206 years old right now. So, R.I.P. to Caleb Swanigan. We'll see if it means anything before long. Let's go out to 607. What's up, 607? Oh, hold on. My bad. It's commercial break. It's commercial break. I'll get you after the break. We'll be right back, everybody.
Big fame. A young person starting their career should find something that they're passionate about to do. It's very hard. If you don't love your work, you're never going to be great at it. You guys will find that you have passions, and having a passion is a gift. I think we all have passions, and you don't get to choose them. They pick you, but you have to be alert to them. You have to be looking for them. And when you find your passion, it's a fantastic gift for you because it gives you direction, gives you purpose. All your work won't feel like work to you. Many kids and many grown-ups do figure out over time what their passions are. I don't think it's that hard. I think what happens though sometimes is that we let our intellectual selves overrule those passions. You can choose a life of ease and comfort, or you can choose a life of service and adventure. Which one of those, when you're 90 years old, are you going to be more proud of? If you can get your work life to be where you enjoy half of it, that is amazing.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. September 2018. Extendivite works in keeping my blood pressure in the normal range. I've been using Extendivite for many years now. May 2018. Great product. I use regularly and I rarely get sick. March 2018. This product has relieved what appeared to be angina pain in my chest and shortness of breath after climbing stairs. I'm quite happy about it. February 2018. My husband, son, and I have been using this product for a few months now, and we have noticed an improvement in our joints and blood pressure. Tell us your story. Get Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
Greetings, Earth Explorers. My name is Brooks Agnew, and I am your host on X Squared Radio every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Truth Frequency Radio Network. This is where the past meets the future. We explore the mysteries of the universe and of the Earth. We might go a little past your imagination, but have no fear. You will be safely traveling with us. We will dissolve the propaganda of dangerous people with dangerous plans for the planet. We will discuss the latest technologies and challenges for humankind. We will discover the safest place for you to stand when the thinkings and doings of mankind come flying apart, and how you can be one of the people that helps put it back together. Join us.
We are TFR.
My destiny is all I need to prevail.
Truth Frequency Radio.
All right, we're back, Truth Seeker. Congrats to everybody who hit on the game of the day. There's always a game of the day in the NBA, and someday there's a lot of games of the day. But again, just for the free knowledge, for all you guys who don't support the Patreon, I still like to help. The game of the day was the Kings over the Bulls. And the reason it was the game of the day is because out of the 4 base ciphers, the one that matters the most is the dark blue one. And notice how Sacramento's 37, and so is Chicago in that cipher. And notice the Bulls picked up their 37th loss. And Heat looked pretty good over the Grizzlies because, again, that blue cipher is the most important. Heat got their 38th win, Memphis 38, and Memphis got their 27th loss, Miami 27. You might want to take a look at the college tournament bracket and see if the same number shows up in the Miami game there as well. But anyway, Gematria, the knowledge to see through the rigging. From March Madness to the NBA to the MLB to the NFL to the Oval Office to the news story day after day. Let's go out to 607. Here's a man that likes to decode some sports. What's up, 607?
Yeah, it's funny that you brought up the 2 NBA games today. But yeah, the reason why the Kings were definitely going to win was because 41-61 date numerology, and the Kings get their 41st win on 61 date numerology, but Sacramento Kings equals 61.
Right, which is the 18th prime, and the Bulls stayed on 18 home wins. And you got to love that the Kings scored 117 points in Illinois, where Illinois won 17. Funny how that can play in the tournament as well. So,
yeah, and then in the Heat game, the coach of the Grizzlies got his 136th loss, and 136 is the 16th square, and Heat equals 16.
Triangular number.
And
16th triangular number. Heat equals 16, right? Indeed.
Yeah, that's right. What did I say? 136 was the prime. Did I say prime?
You said square.
Oh, shit. All right.
Yeah, it's okay.
But really why I called in was because I just wanted you to go over the Jewish Gematria cipher, or what Derek renamed Latin, because I know you've explained this before, but I forgot. And when I'm explaining the Jewish cipher to people, I need to understand why, like, it is the way it is. For, like, there's no 800, it just goes to 700 and 900. And, like, the letters are in a weird order. So if you could just explain the rationale for why the Jewish cipher is what it is.
Yeah, so again, it pays tribute to a common cipher in Hebrew, which is why it's known as Jewish Gematria until Derek renamed it. But again, there's a different amount of letters in the English language than there is Hebrew. And we found the cipher online as it was, and it was obvious it was relevant just because the values sync up with things like death and homicide 118 and how often those numbers come to death. And that was honestly how I first figured out that the cipher was relevant, because I had this notebook forever of all this 118 death stuff and I didn't know what it meant. And then I found the cipher. I was like, wow, death's 118 in this cipher. We learned about this cipher from the website gematrix.org, where it is called appropriately Jewish Gematria. And again, it just pays tribute to the Hebrew cipher. So why did they skip from 700 to 900? I don't know the answer to that question, but that's just the way it was when we found it. So.
Right, and I also know it's legit too, because the first member of the Red Hot Chili Peppers to die was a Jewish guy, Hillel Slovak, and he died heroin overdose is 206. Well, sacrifice. You always see 206 in sacrifice. And Red Hot Chili Peppers is 206. And so I know it's... I'm not going to go down that path, but I know it's relevant because, like, just a local story here, like, long story short, in Jewish Gematria, the word kneeling equals 613. And exactly 613 weeks since George Floyd incident, there was a kneeling incident here in Binghamton. And I'm like, that's not a coincidence. On New Year's, It's just so I know it's totally relevant that it's just people are gonna ask like, why just skip 700 to 900? It's like I wish I could just get like a answer to that, but I know it's relevant. So, but yeah, that's all I have, Zach. So thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, I think it's, again, I just think it's because of the amount of letters in the alphabet, and 9 has a lot more to do with completion than 8 does, so they were going to have to skip some number.
Right.
And I'm sure whoever created the cipher, they had a rhyme and reason to it. But yeah, I always make the point with 9/11 too, because in that cipher, jihadist is 9/11, Tisha B'Av is 9/11, which is to remember the destruction of the 2 temples. If you write out the phrase Al Qaeda terrorist attack, it's 9/11 in that cipher. So, pretty interesting.
All right, Zach.
All right. Have a good night.
You too, man.
Take care. All right, let's go out to Philadelphia, 267.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Zach?
Yeah.
All right, I was listening and I don't know, man. Like, I think you discovered something that I could say this, like, what if we discovered, like, the creator of our world and how it's manipulating us, and what if it's like something that is able to be manipulated, but the line has been corrupted from, like the governments and stuff like that, and like the way to communicate with the being. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I'm thinking.
I agree. I mean, there is something. I've said the same thing. There's an organic side of this. This does seem, again, it seems like the Kabbalistic belief is true, that God, I don't know if God really created the world with numbers, letters, and words, but it's like by being aware of this, you can see some kind of communication, interaction with Creator. I totally do think that that's an element of what's going on.
And I think probably all the answers probably might be in the Vatican. I mean, one day if everyone decided to rise up, it'd probably be a big ass monster come out of there like on Power Rangers or some shit, probably. And like, who knows? But all I'm saying is like, this shit is very fascinating, and I think the I don't know, the superstitious side, or the what do you call it? What is that word? Supernatural side of this. I think has to do with mathematics and how 2 + 2 = 4 and 2 × 2 = 4. And that's the only number that does that.
That's how many letters are in the Hebrew alphabet, too. 22. 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet, the master builder number. So.
Mm-hmm. And how everything is an exact reflection, like the left and the right is a reflection of the other side. And it's just a lot. Like, it's a deep rabbit hole on our existence. But I wonder if one day, if we was able to, I don't know, stop this oppression and poverty and break up out of the things that we're all slaved into and from birth, then maybe we would have free energy and people will live a lot longer and be nicer and everything would be total freedom. I mean, if that is can be achieved. I hope so, to see that day.
Yeah, I mean, I always make the same point. Imagine if in our first 3 years of slave school, if instead of learning whatever they did teach us, dinosaurs and all this, if we spent time understanding why it's good to be nice to each other and cooperate and how people can benefit through teamwork and helping each other out. But instead, they don't teach us about any of that. They teach us how to compete and be number one. And
They teach us this code. And they give us a Bible. They teach us ABC 1, 2, 3. Then they give us Bibles and stuff. And the Bible is just basically probably describing who this beast is. Because you talk about Moses was cutting deals with in the Bible with some entity of speaking to him. This shit is weird as shit. And the people was worshiping the goats and shit, a bull-like figure. How did these people know to start worshiping a bull-like figure? A bow, or whatever the fuck that shit's called. It had to be introduced to them through entertainment or something where they actually liked it. You see?
Indeed.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like moving 100 miles per hour because I'm trying to fit all the thoughts into like a small, because it's definitely a wave of information through all this, and how this entity likes to trick people and likes to have, like, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
I don't know, maybe it's just the American way, just to, you know, have a little hustle, a little game to get a little bit off of somebody. You know what I'm saying? Not just you, but everybody. I mean, it's the only way you can make it.
Yeah.
And that's what they say. You can't knock the hustle. So.
Indeed. But yeah, at the same time,
people can't get mad how you make money.
If we all learned to work with each other and cooperate, we'd all be a lot further ahead. So.
Right. Well, thanks for the show. And I don't know. I was a subscriber on the Patreon, but like I wish you would do more call-ins, but you didn't do that many call-ins last year. So
we were back on the call-ins though. We're doing call-ins almost every day now. If you want to come back, but thank you for supporting. I appreciate it.
I would definitely want to come to a meeting one time with like when you come to like one of these cities or something like that. I mean, you said New York City sometime, or like I'm on the East Coast, so.
Well, I drove to almost every city in America this past year. So.
Because I believe that dude is on to something with all these rappers in the 38 code, because I've been trying to, I've been learning a lot about how all these Boule members and these fraternity members and these Masons, and how they all is into the music and entertainment industry, and they not white, they black men, you feel me?
Sure.
And it's just crazy. Everybody thinks like white man doing this, white man doing that. Nah, it's not. The devil ain't got no color, you know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So,
Indeed.
I don't know, but all right, y'all, I'll talk to you.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Yeah, of course. Call us back. You have a good night.
All right.
All right, take care. Yeah, a lot of people, see, you could tell he didn't even know that I did that trip across the states. It's too bad. He could have came out with us, but yeah, for a while I was not doing as much stuff on the Patreon in terms of streams. I was just pretty much doing everything publicly, but yeah, we've been doing a lot on the Patreon lately, so it's becoming a lot more active. I'm even thinking going back to Monday through Friday call-in show for sports, but I got to finish my book first. I just can't get my book finished. Too much self-doubt. That's the whole problem. I should have released it over a year ago. It was good back then. Well, we don't have... Oh, hold on. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. What's up, New York?
What's up, Zach?
How you doing, man?
Not as good as you.
Not as good as me. I don't know if that's true. So.
Yeah. Just killing. Last week was trying to get back on the line with you, but every time I called it, because they were registered.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're always out there supporting.
Eh?
I'm glad you're always out there supporting. I appreciate it.
But I still got to get them books, man. I'm planning to do it, like you sign them. I'm putting the radio station on it. WDI.
I got to get more books. All I have is my personal copy of the book right now. I don't have any other books, so I've been waiting till I finish my book to order more books, but I might just have to order more copies of my book before I finish. So we'll see.
Amazon still carry your books?
Last time I checked, it was still there. Let me see.
Okay, let me check it out.
Yeah, I think it's still there. Yeah, it's still there.
So. Yeah, but I don't want you to sign them, I can't take it up there to them.
I didn't sign your book for you when I was in New York?
Eh?
I didn't sign your book for you when I was in New York?
No, but when you send me, you had to sign it. Remember, you had to send me, that's before you get to New York. Yeah, I want you to sign it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I sent books to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll get it fixed, man. You'll get my signature. I'm gonna come back to New York, so you can just wait. I'll just sign it in person.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to take it to the radio station.
Okay.
And I know eventually, let me get you come do a program again, you know?
Yeah.
That station is a station you, the listeners, you know, is the one who contribute to the station.
Right.
They don't do no commercial or nothing like that, you know, so they can do anything they want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll get it all fixed, man. But yeah, I appreciate you out there every week supporting. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Talk to you then.
All right, friend. You have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Take care. Okay. Yeah, he came out and pounded pavement with us. I don't know how I didn't sign his book. Signing everybody else's book. Denver's calling in. What's up? Mile High City.
Hey, Jack, what's going on?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, I'm calling in tonight. Passover is April 7th to April 8th. Is anybody on your online and calling tonight? They celebrating Passover?
I don't really celebrate any religious holidays. I just try to do my best every day.
Yeah, I hear you. But, I mean, think about it. If you celebrate Passover, the 3 requirements for Passover is lamb, unleavened bread, and bitter herbs, so horseradish. If you do those 3 kingdom principles, you're rocking and rolling for your next 60 days. Going to your next season, you're going spring, you're going forth. And like I said, I call it many times. You say you call it many times, you elaborate, brother. And I agree with you, right? So, I'm going to speak and let you speak, but it's true. Does anybody celebrate the Passover, your callers, or they just jump over it?
If anybody in the chat wants to respond, if you guys celebrate Passover, let us know. He's wondering.
Yeah. Passover is about your passport out of the nations, if you want to do that. If you want to stay in the nations, or Abraham's womb is another elaboration, you can stay there. That's okay. But obviously, you expose it, and you do a beautiful job exposing everything. You're in, Abraham's bosom, Babylon, system, Red Dragon, B system, and you expose all of it. But all it creates is more chaos to your next season. And every time you expose it, bankers, adrenochrome drinkers, baby molestation, everything. I mean, Zach, you do a beautiful job. Don't get me wrong. I believe that's why God called you to do that. You're supposed to the tip of the spear, and it's beautiful, brother. That's why I like listening to you. But all of a sudden, at the end of the day, you say, do I want to stay here? Or do I want to go and be a Hebrew? Means you crossed over, like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Noah. They weren't Jewish. They crossed over. So I don't want to stay in this dysfunction. I want to cross over in a functional society. And that's where I want to be. But it's like anything else. Everything you believe, you have to study. You got to work it out. You got to do it, right?
Indeed.
And that's, action wins, right?
Indeed.
But at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, am I doing that? Or am I exposing the enemy or sublet, like you say, Illuminati, New World Order, Freemasonry, everything, and you expose the hell out of it. Keep doing what you're doing. I always said, everyone God gave a destiny, and that's what you're called to do it. Do it to the best of your ability. And if people are with you, God bless them. People are against you, don't worry about it. They're going to exit, they're going to enter, and they're going to leave. It could be for a day, it could be for a season, it could be for years or years, right? But Zach, I mean, you're doing a beautiful job, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and God will bless you, He'll protect you, and everything you got to do. And at the end of the day, what's your destiny you got to walk in? You know what I mean? You expose it, you destroy it, and glory to God, that's what's your destiny. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
But Zach, I want to shut up. I'm going to say let you speak because I spoke.
All right. Well, no, I just always appreciate the thoughts that you have, and And I don't have much else to say, but thank you very much.
Zach, brother, be blessed. We're going to Passover season, April 7th to April 8th. But the 3 requirements of the Passover: eat some lamb. If you don't have anything else to do, eat some lamb, unleavened bread and bitter herbs. And that's the 3 requirements of the Passover, and you allow your next destiny be for the next 60 days. Okay. You probably will expose it. You go in April, spring 4th, then you go into May. And there's Prince Charles, Antichrist, all this subplot stuff, right? Everything's going to come, bankers, all this other stuff. And you will expose it, you know what I mean? And you do it beautifully, brother. So keep doing what you're doing. I called in many times. You see I'm supportive. But I'm trying to support you because I just rather be quiet and see what God gave you in intellect or your soul, 5 layers, 5 layers deep. See what God's giving you. And you got to do it, more beautiful than I can explain. Because a rabbi, all it means is my teacher. He's going to teach you and instruct you what you do for your next season. Yeshua said there's 4 seasons in a year. Can you not discern them? Or are you going to jump over and bypass them? But that's it is. You got spring, right? And then you got to go to fall, winter, and then summer, right? It just goes through those cycles. But everything you do in life is going to become brand new, individually within yourself and people around you. So always remember that, because that's how the cycles work. And you expose the sun and the moon, and they are significant, trust me. And when I learned about, just to throw it out, silver directs you into a southern polarity. Also gold towards you a northern polarity. Everyone has that magnetic field. Everyone has it within you and around you. But there's certain elements on the earth that you discover, earth to earth. Your bodies came from the earth, and then you will see what attracts you to the earth. All the answers you have are on earth. And remember, that's why Christianity, I'm going to die, I'm going to get raptured, I'm going to get out of here, I'm going to die. You know what I mean? No, that's everything. That's a false religion. In Hebrew, everything's about living on this earth. But a subplot, sublarity, I'm going to die, earth sucks, all these beast systems.
I totally hear what you're saying. Friend, I appreciate it. I want to let a couple more people get on before the end of the show, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, I totally get what you're saying right there. Thank you.
All right, Zach, be blessed. Go forward this next season, okay?
All right, you too, man. Thank you. Have a good night.
Brother.
Okay. 248, you're on.
Oh, hey, Zach. Did you hear about the death of Bobby Caldwell?
The singer. Yeah, he died at age 71 right before March Madness, the 71 tournament. I got to look more into that. There could be a clue there.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to talk to you about. I thought you didn't know about it. I just wanted to inform you. But
Yeah,
you did already.
His big song came out in
off.
78, so we might have to look at the 78 tournament and see what happened that year. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yep. Take care.
Yeah, have a good night. All right, let's go out to Yakima, Vegas. What's up, Yakima?
Hey, Zach. How's it going, man? Hey, have you ever looked up Unplug Him on YouTube?
I don't
Doja Cat.
think so. I don't think so.
He's straight up like Christian, and he talks. I mean, he goes into esoteric stuff, but he got a little spiel on Doja Cat and MK Ultra and all that. So interesting. He's got a lot of interesting stuff on his YouTube's, very in depth about spelling spells with English, and he gets into it. But what else are we gonna talk about? Oh. So I was at Chris Stapleton last year at the Gorge, and sure enough, he's got a giant pyramid behind him with like a veil that comes down in front of the top of the pyramid, and then this moon-looking light right in front of the veil, so it looks like a giant eyeball in front of the veil in front of this giant pyramid. And I'm trying to, and of course he's, Tennessee and Memphis and Giza. And I'm trying to tell my brother-in-law about this stuff. And he's just like, yeah, this is just artsy-fartsy. And it's like, you can't talk to anybody about this stuff. Like, it's hard to just have conversations with regular people. So I know how it is with gematria and the knowledge and in society, and it's rough.
Yeah, a lot of people have set up these barriers. They won't go past these certain barriers. So.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I got some Ripple stuff, some XRP stuff. This is kind of interesting. It's like
there's only 5 seconds of show left. It's about to start the loud music,
What's
so
that?
the show's pretty much over.
Okay.
Call back next week and share it. I'd love to hear it, but the music's going to start here in a second.
So. Okay. All right.
All right.
A good one anyway. So all right,
man.
Later.
Okay. I wish there was some way to delay the show. It seems like it ends that way every week. It's like, sorry, couldn't get the idea out, but what are you going to do? Everything's on a timer. So yeah, I got to wrap it up there, True Seeker. Lots more work to do tonight. I'll be on the Patreon. We're doing the late night March Madness stream. And it is madness to be up this late decoding sports, but hey, March Madness, you only get so many days to go through 1 million games. So we'll leave it there. Thanks to everyone who tuned in tonight. Let me say thank you to the Super Chatters real quick. And then we will wrap it up. And somebody asked how come I'm doing less live streams lately and just more short videos. Well, I've just been really busy with all the stuff and going on, March Madness and everything. It's just easier to put out short videos, and it's also just kind of like an experiment to see if it helps the channel do better, which doesn't seem like it's helping, but feels like no matter what you put out, it can't get any views. Well, we got a DK Stonewood sighting.
What's going on, March Madness?
What's up, DK? DK, you there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, go ahead, man. What's up?
Oh, is something wrong? Because I just barely heard you right now. Okay.
You can't hear me?
No, well, for some reason, I don't know, maybe my phone was tripping because I had the show on, like, live, and then I was, like, backtracking over here on my other device, and then all of a sudden it was just, like, no sound, and the time was, like, going, so I'm like, what's going on? And then I called in, and then nothing, I couldn't hear anything either, so...
Here, before you get going, let me just say thank you real quick. Thank you to Reston Gematria. Thank you to Luna Rostra. Thank you to Truth Matters 222, Tom S., Amanda Kraus, and Rumham Solo. Appreciate the donations, you guys. Thank you very much. And now it's that DK Stonewood after hours time. What's up?
Hey, Zach. LAF, I don't hate you. It's just like you're a troll, you know? I mean, it's just like... It's like, you know, hating a piece of dog crap that you walk by. It makes no sense. It just, you know, you are what you are.
Sure.
Yeah, it looks like Rambo's falling off. I don't know what's going on there. I think maybe...
It's the troll juice. I mean, I can just already see, it's just like, because you can see even in his post, he's like thanking Greg Fye, who's a regular troll of mine. So I'm sure it's probably Greg Fye that's putting the noise in his ear. And again, I mean... What are you going to do? But, yeah, the guy who he's thanking in the post is also a regular troll that I have, so.
That's weird. I mean, it's possible he could have been a sleeper cell, too. Who knows? You never know. I mean, I've only been around for, like barely over a year. I mean, my first comment was Gabby Petito's small talk, and, you know, that seems like it was just yesterday in comparison, probably. So I don't know what he's done in the past. My best decode of his, like, recently would be the stuff with Rihanna and water, but not recently. It was, like, months ago, talking about, like, row and wade, like, rowing on water and wading through water. That decode I thought was good, but I can't really remember any great ones since then, to be honest. Not that I'm dogging on him, but just in my opinion. And then, yeah, you know, the Fritz Springmeier, you know, he's another fake Jewish guy who's one of their disclosure agents. You know, they got karmic law. They got to tell us the truth. So instead of having, you know, real people tell the truth like Zach or me or, you know, people that are legit, they got to have their own do it because they, you know, they got to not tick off that box for the karmic repercussion like we told you. So, yeah, a lot of the stuff Springmeier is saying is true, but it's also misleading as well. Like, they're not just this MK Ultra stuff, he's making it sound like they're just picking adults off the street and taking them into a Clockwork Orange program. And like, no, these are all fake Jews. They do this to their children. They're already, they're already filling these positions already in that state. It's not at all that part, what he's saying about that happening, that does happen, but that is like the infinitesimally small percentage of what their actual mind control program in these families is like. They rape and molest their children at very young ages and all that. They don't have a chance to be normal ever. So you don't just, get some 40-year-old guy off the street and take him down to, the one under China Lake, the base under China Lake, and let Michael Aquino, mind control them like Clockwork Orange style, and then they come out, and all of a sudden now they're just some, agent or something. It's just, Jason Bourne or something. That is just like 0.0000001% of the case. So, and why would, of course, that guy, Real Mike Fake News, another fake Jewish guy has to have Springmeier on. I mean, I told people 10 years ago, just watch in the end, these fake Jews will only be able to interview each other and have each other on, because anybody else they let on will just tear them apart, and that's exactly what we're seeing in all the genres that I come from too. It's already all happened. I called it in the like advanced technology community and the fake UFO alien community. I told people all these, in the end, these people who are all seem to be coming from these separate areas will all be together, and they'll be the only ones interviewing each other, and that's already happened probably at least a few years ago. So, I don't know why Rambo is going, writing Fritz Springmeyer's, and that's, people have exposed that guy long ago. Like, he's not saying anything that books haven't been written on and all that stuff already. Look at, Mass Control by Jim Keith and Transformation of America by, forgot what the heck her name was, Kathy O'Brien and the co-author. I mean, there's he's just another one of their mouthpieces. Nothing new, nothing new from the guy, and the stuff that is true, he tries to skew and put from a different point of view, so you don't really understand, how this is working. Anyway, that's enough on that one. That caller was just saying about, I don't know, she was talking about the Earth being the universe being a dense frequency and all. The universe is fine. The Earth is in a very low frequency right now, and that's all we really need to worry about right now. We don't need to worry about all this other, stuff that people's IQ is so low, they can't even figure out what's going on Earth, and now that you're going to try to tell me about all this other stuff universally, like, just, let's get our own backyard in order first before we start moseying around the neighborhood and shit. So, we are in a Saturn moon matrix right now that's been set up by AI, which we call demons, and, they got a control on the reincarnation cycle here. There's a couple entities there called the Lords of Karma that are controlling, your reincarnation cycle and why you can't remember all your past lives. Their names happen to be Yahweh and Jehovah. They work for the cube or the Tetragrammaton. So forget about all these fake names of all these fake gods you've been given, folks. Just consider where these names come from. God, they all come from the same folks, every single one of them. So just throw all that out. You don't need any of it. This mission here on Earth, or this experience, does not require belief in any supernatural entities or anything. All it requires is belief in yourself, and go out there and do it. That's really it. There's nothing to worship. There's nothing to get on your knees for or anything at all. No, a being that would be higher than you would laugh at you if you tried to do that anyways. Like, what good would that do a being, such a high being that you're going to say, oh, you're so great, I mean, it's absolutely a pathetic, notion to even put forth. So just forget about all that. We need to focus on what's going on here on Earth, focus on your health, and focus on, the truth of, the matter of what they're trying to do in the agenda, so you can kind of steer clear of it or keep yourself above water. Just worry about that. Anyway, I guess I'll just talk about the market, because I was going to call today. I already had a meeting a couple days ago. I'm going to call in, and I know you got another show about the market, but I just want to talk about the market. And then you started the show with, I want to talk about the market. So perfect. Anyway, I'm talking kind of fast. Do you have anything to chime in before I go on to that? Or
no, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so basically, let me just put forth like a scenario, okay? Let's just say we're gonna start our own area, let's call it Gematria land or whatever, whether it's a city or like a city-state or, a state or country, whatever the hell we want to designate it as, for people to understand. But, we're going to print our own money. So let's just say we started off with 100 people, right? And we decided, okay, we're going to print up 100,000 Gematria dollars, right? And so we print out 100,000, meaning if there's 100 people, each person's going to get 1,000. So you're going to get 1,000 of these Gematria dollars to exchange with other people when you're not, exchanging straight goods like a barter type system. So now, as more people say, oh, I like their system in Gematria land, I want to move in. So now they move in. Let's just say, 100 more people move into Gematria land. We got all this land to expand and grow food and all that, plenty. And there's only, we're like a dot on the land, and we did that on purpose to start it so we can expand. So now 100 more people come into Gematria land. So now, if you divvy that, if everybody before had the $1,000, it was all equal to start off, maybe some people would end up with going down, and other people would be stacking more. But as you bring the new 100 in, if you divided it all up amongst them evenly, everybody only has $500 now, 500 Gematria dollars. And then, if you double that again, people only going to get like, $250 each. So you'll have a tiny bit of, you'll have less and less of, if you divide it equally, less and less of this paper that we're using for exchange to work with as you get more people. And so, and then also people that move in, they would want to exchange maybe whatever money they have instead for like Gematria dollars. And then with that money, like let's just say they brought in US dollars or Chinese yen or whatever, then we take that from them and give them Gematria dollars. And with those dollars that they gave us from that other, currency, whatever it is, we just buy stuff for Gematria land to bring that down to zero. So we're not using their money. We just use it back to get goods from kind of like what you would say, like an Amish system. You just, providing everything inside, but, doing some business on the outside if you have to, to do some exchange like that. So now we would have to expand the money supply. We'd have to print up more Gematria dollars. Does that make the other ones less valuable? The first 100,000 that we printed, now we have like 300 people or 400 people in Gematria land. That doesn't make, printing more doesn't make the other papers less valuable. So I got 3 degrees in college, and one of them is finance. And, that on paper, that's what they tell us. You print more money, that makes it less valuable. Right, but no, it actually doesn't. You know what I mean? If you really think about it logically, it doesn't make it less valuable at all. And you would have to really, keep track of like how much everybody would have to know that, in order for that to reflect in the way people use it for like purchasing power, how much purchasing power people agree that it really has, because they don't know how, other countries and other currencies, they don't know. Well, actually they do, because the same people are printing the same, for everybody. It's all monopoly money from the central banks, but, it doesn't matter what color and pictures are on it. But, that's not really how it would work, because the value of the money would be based on what's going on in Gematria land always. So now when they tell us like we're having inflation right now because they just printed all that money to give to people to stay at home and not work, it's not because they printed the money, it's because the people were not working, and it was slowing down just the general, like, what you would call like the commerce. I know that's a bad and loaded word that comes from them with the UCC code, but that's what the value would really be based on, is like China should have the most expensive money because they make everything for everybody, you know what I mean? So their money should be the most valuable. So this whole notion of all the prices are going up because of inflation, that's not true. The prices are going up because the cabal owns all these companies and they're just raising the prices. It's just what same thing they used to do in Rome. There's no such thing as an inflation, So imagine having like apple trees, and now you got like 100 apples, and then the next season you get 200 apples. Are those 200, is it now half as valuable as the year before because it was only half? No, the apple still has the same nutritional value, and you could, it could feed that many more people. So that's a false notion that we've been given about this. They're literally just raising the prices arbitrarily right now on everything, including things that we need in order to produce as well, like the fuel being one of them, and all these little things that play into it. I mean, the fuel and the shipping which is affected by the fuel, of course, is what's going up on people. So even mom and pops that have to ship things around, their costs are raising. And they really can't do much on that except raise all the costs of like doing business, like power, water, which both have gone up, and then, gas. Those are all energy, so that, I mean, water isn't really energy, but just, in a way we need it. So it's basically just like electricity. You need power and water to survive. For your health, you only need the water. Obviously, you don't need electricity and you won't die. But if you don't have water, you're going to be in trouble after about a week. So they're controlling all those costs, and that's all that they're artificially raising those costs. And then, that has a little bit of effect on mom and pop, but mostly where everybody gets everything is not from mom and pop. It's from all these cabal corporations and their subsidiaries. So, this is just the same old Roman trick they were doing before with just raising prices. And that's all. And that's how they keep, themselves, kind of constant. Every time they do that, they make a big jump. It's like like Pac-Man when it opens his mouth and closes his mouth as it's going, and it's just, they make a big leap sometimes and open their mouth and go forward, and it's like scoop up like 4 or 5 dots at once instead of just one for every gobble. And, that's like, they've been doing this forever. That's why about in the 1800s or wwhatever, you could go into, like a suit maker and, have them measure you for a suit. You'd buy the suit, the shirt that went underneath it, the belt, the shoes and all that stuff. And, the guy would make it all custom there for you, and it would cost you like an ounce of gold, Now, if you go do that, you're going to pay about like $2,000. You want to I mean, obviously if you want like a name brand one, it's going to be $10,000, like an Armani or something like that suit. But if you just want a fitted suit where the guy's going to measure you up for it, not just buy something off the shelf and, modify it for you, just tailor it. They're going to literally just make it. That would cost you about $2,000. And that's what gold is worth now for an ounce. So you know what I mean? It's just the value of the suit and all that stuff that came with it, and the labor of the guy doing it, that didn't change value. And the gold didn't change value. The only thing that changed value was like the amount of paper that they say that it takes to get that, which is all arbitrary again, because they control all those prices as well. They control, the prices of, even people say, invest in metals, which I agree in, but, they're even controlling the price of that. Like silver should be way higher. It's way undervalued. So, I think we have to look at this as at a, kind of like, I'm glad Zach did this with the Gematria thing with the market, because it's just a play. It's not going on anything that I learned at school. I'll give you an example. Like I didn't get an accounting degree, but you have to take upper division accounting classes even for a finance degree. So to get another accounting degree would have been literally like 3 more classes or something, Anyway, so I'm in my accounting class, and the teacher, who's the department head, in the upper divisions, a lot of times the department heads will be teaching it usually, which sucks, meaning more like homework and bullshit. But this guy was actually pretty cool, and he owned his own accounting firm and was, I guess, still teaching. I don't know why. But so he said that when he was younger and started out, I want to say 80s, in the 80s, that he was working for GM, which was the, number one largest company in the world for I don't know how many decades. I don't know if it still is, but so he was obviously one accountant of probably hundreds, if not thousands of accountants. So he said that one time he found about a $200 million error on the books in GM's favor, not like they owed money, but it would be in their favor. And he he said he didn't say anything to his immediate boss for like a week because he wanted to make sure he was absolutely right and it was like cross-checked. So I don't want to look like a moron, you know, because I think I just found the mother lode here. If this is true, fuck, I'm gonna be promoted to, you know, I'm gonna be running the accounting department or all these accounting departments if and then he went to his boss and showed him, and his boss goes, yeah, good work. That happens all the time. The thing is, to go back and try to fix that would end up costing us more than just that. The 200 million, don't even worry about it. That's a drop in the bucket. And he was just like, you know, and then I was thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, $200 million. That's like, you could change, you know, 200 people's lives just like totally substantially, you know, back in the 80s, you know, I mean, I don't, $1 million, probably like $10 million is now or something. You could buy houses back then for what, like 100,000? I mean, I don't know. I'm not old enough to know, but that, you know, so and I was just thinking, I'm like, oh, so the whole fucking thing is a scam. Obviously, that makes absolutely no sense. A company wouldn't go after $200 million that it's missing on its accounts receivable, not on the payable. What? How much do these accountants make? I mean, per year, this whole accounting department, it doesn't make it would be worth it if, you know, if you would even get back like 10 million. I mean, 10 million, it doesn't make any sense. So I realized, oh, the whole thing's a complete scam. And he's like looking at me like, yeah, you got it, basically, you know, the whole thing is a fucking scam. Everything, no matter, all these companies are, you know, the bankers run all the ones that are printing the money, the ones that are moving the money around between the riverbanks, you know, the currency, and you know, the ones that own all these corporations. It's all the same people. It's the whole thing is a complete game. Like, there's nothing real about it at all. There's no even such thing as money. I tell people that all the time. They don't, you know, they just don't seem to get it. I'm like, that's how they control relationships. That's what money is, to control relationships. That's why, you know, ours is green. Relationships would be related to the green heart chakra. So, you know, that's how and that's the major money in the world, you know, the green dollar, which is all green. So you notice all these other currencies are multicolored and stuff. Ours is just green with reptilian skin on it. So, I mean, you know, the whole thing is they get people to, you know, fight with their family over money, fight with their, you know, spouse over money, fight, you know, everything. And then the other ones, they're just like printing it and, you know, taking care of their own. Since they own all the banks, you know, they have them, their bank just has a mortgage on their house, a lien on their house, but they're not even like paying mortgages, you know. And then some of these guys, like, you know, Real Mike Fake News, he probably gets maybe, you know, $4,000 a month to live in his a little apartment for what he does, you know, being a troll and shit, you know, a little plant there or whatever. You know, Allie probably gets her apartment paid for. I mean, this is all they do. They're printing money and living off the you know, hand labor of the Goyim. That's the only thing that has any value. I try to teach people that, you know, 12 years ago. I'm like, nothing has any value. Not even gold, not even diamonds. Nothing has any value. The only thing that has any value is life and human labor. That's it. That's the only thing that has any value whatsoever. So, of course, you know, the nature, the plants, the food, that has value. But again, that needs to be tended to by human hands. So that's the only thing that has any value in this world. And they fooled us off of it so far that we, you know, it's so removed. All that stuff's done for us now and brought into a, you know, by a truck to a store, and then we go just get it. So, I mean, I just wanted to kind of throw that in there as a big picture perspective from somebody who has a finance degree, that it's just straight up bullshit. The whole thing, top to bottom, side to side, three-wheel motion, every which way that you want to look at it. It's total crap. So...
Well, again, I mean, our financial system is a big made-up joke, and there's a lot of truth to what you're saying. I mean, the way it's supposed to work is that when you do print money, if you had a real currency system, it would devalue the currency, because just say you had $100 out there and it was represented by this gold rock, and that these $100 that were out there represented this gold rock we had. If you doubled the money supply, and now there was $200 out there with this gold rock, well, now you just have the value of the money. So that's the way it's supposed to be. But that's obviously not what it is. And the reason we know that what you're said is true about how they're just manipulating the prices of things and blaming it on whatever they want. Oh, now it's Russia, Ukraine, or whatever. I still remember when all of a sudden they started really saying, ooh, inflation's now really starting to impact food prices. They were reporting that in the news before it actually hit the stores. It was about a week later, after like a lot of that coverage on TV, then all of a sudden, just like in a mining market where I was at the time, Yakima, then all of a sudden everything just jumped way up in price. I was like, isn't that funny that the news was telling us how much food prices are jumping? And it hadn't happened yet, but then a week later it did. There was just all of a sudden eggs were way more expensive. And again, I mean, the thing that's really driving up the costs of goods is how high diesel prices are. Diesel prices are crazy high. Pretty much everything's transported by, after it gets off the trains, by diesel trucks. And as long as they're having to pay a ton to ship goods to and fro, we're going to pay more in everything that's on those trucks. So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, and then to comment on what you just said, I'm glad you brought up when they say, okay, if we print $100 and it's supposed to correspond to the value of this gold over here, but the gold doesn't have any value. You have to value the gold in dollars as well. So you can't eat the gold. You can't fucking do anything with gold except make like terminals, really good contact terminals on like computer chips and shit like that. It doesn't have any value unless you can like eat it or something. You know what I mean? So the fact that the gold is worth so many dollars, it has to have the other one on the other side saying the same thing. So that's just like another farce, so it wouldn't even really matter if they have the gold in Fort Knox or not. It doesn't matter unless you're going to bring that out and use it as another form of currency. If you're just holding it like, hostage and nobody ever sees it, it has zero value. Zero. You're not doing anything with it. If you were going to use it for like computer chips and stuff, then okay, now it's a raw material. Now it has value. But as just in and of itself, standing there, nothing has any value. Even a human being, not moving his hands out there in the field working, it doesn't have any value until he starts picking some food or, farming or doing something. Only value is the actual life of the human, but there's no, until it starts moving. And that's the whole thing about, 20 years ago, basically those of us who are awake, we knew the basic three things were like the New World Illuminati, plan is, digital currency, martial law, and vaccines. Like, people knew that shit 20 years ago. And then they come out with crypto, and all of a sudden, like, they're turning that around, that it's the opposite. Like, no, that is the actual New World Order currency that we've been talking about for 20 years, some people 40 years, and now we're here, and then people most of the people on the internet pushing the crypto are shills, with the whole anarcho conferences and all that. All they got is a bunch of fake Jewish guys pushing crypto who aren't even rich. They make them look rich, so we're going to go, oh, yeah. Why would these rich guys be pitching everybody else to do? It makes absolutely no sense, You're going to teach me how to do what you did. Right. And put you out of business? It doesn't make any sense. So, there's no absolute, obviously there's absolutely no value in the paper currency nor the gold, but I mean, imagine in digital numbers on a screen, it has no earnings. You're literally looking at just appreciation based on some totally artificial thing. I mean, if people think it's decent, that's the most centralized thing there is. You need the fucking internet for it. I mean, I don't know if people's like brain is so separated that they're, left and right hemispheres just they're not communicating at all, but how is it decentralized? You literally need a fucking computer with an internet connection, which is as controlled as anything could possibly be. It's date stamped and geolocated and everything, but it's decentralized? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, either you're a shill pushing this shit, or your parents dropped you a few too many times when you were young. I mean, these are easy things to put together, folks. It's like, we shouldn't have to explain this. Anyway, sorry for ranting, but...
No, it's okay. So...
Yeah. Anyway, I've probably been talking. I don't even know how long I've been talking now, but if you have any response to any of that or whatever, I think I'm kind of done.
Sure. Yeah, again, I agree with most of your thoughts. It's just, yeah, the world is a giant manipulated thing, and there's a lot of power in a small group of people's hands, and that's how they can manipulate markets and everything else, pretty much every inch of our existence of our life right now. So that's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a movie that they're just, they're coming from every single angle. I got Frank the Truth Tank calling right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Do this. You still hear me, Zach?
I hear you, yeah.
Hey, Frank, I'm still on with Zach. What's up? What's going on, dude? You driving home from work? I don't know if Zach can hear you. Let me see how loud.
I can hear him. I can hear Frank. What's up, Frank?
What's up, Zach? How you doing, man?
Doing all right.
We were just finishing up the show, Frank, talking about the fake monetary system we have and everything. So it should be a breeze to decode since it's completely artificial from every angle. All right, well, I'll let you guys finish. I'll listen.
Well, it's okay, DK. I can get off so you can talk to Frank. I got to wrap it up anyway. But yeah, you guys both have a good night. Appreciate both of you.
All right, Zach. Thanks for taking the call.
All right, take care, man. See you. Okay. And while DK was doing that, I was finishing up something that I meant to get out for the investments group earlier. So tardy with the post tonight. Sorry, it's Wednesday's a tough day, especially when March Madness is going on. But yeah, again, thank you to everyone who hit the like and the share. And thank you to everyone who made a generous donation. I saw that. King Henry, you didn't have to do that, man. King Henry's out there working hard for his money. Appreciate the tip. But yeah. DK Stormwood, always interesting. I just like everybody, I don't agree with everything he says. But again, I mean, everything's arbitrary in a way. He's making the point of like, well, how do you assign how much money's worth based on gold? But the point is like in traditional, like what they would teach you is, again, they decided that this much gold was worth this much paper currency. And if they decide to print more paper currency, then it devalues the currency because, like I just said before, you've doubled the supply. I mean, that's just like traditional understanding of how it works. But at the same time, it's not worth arguing over because, yeah, what we have now, I mean, who knows if is there any gold backing the dollar? It's just like it's a giant monopoly game, and they print out money and give it to the people that they want. And just like the whole market right now, the reason the market stayed crazy high throughout the entire COVID-19 thing, despite a lot of people losing their jobs and being out of work and Main Street not doing so well, is because the Feds just pumped so much money in the market to keep it high. And that benefits the Warren Buffetts. Well, I mean, it benefits a lot of people, actually, anyone who can retire and stuff, but anyway, it's like, what kind of system is this? Our government's just printing money and pumping it right into the market? I mean, just trying to keep things afloat. It's like they're just trying to manage their giant Ponzi scheme. So, anyhow, I got to wrap it up there. For all you guys who are waiting for the late night sports stream, I will get on that. And probably an hour or so I'll start the stream. I'll try to finish in less than an hour, but yeah, I got work to do before I hop back on for the late night stream. So those of you guys on the East Coast, don't kill yourself and stay up too late. Again, the notes will be there in the morning. I'll have everything, but if you stay up late, hey, I'll be there soon enough. So I'll get on the grind and we'll reconnect on Patreon soon. It's March Madness. Till next time, True Seeker.